Normally, when the sun goes down in Baton Rouge, the ghosts of Tigers Stadium come out. It's been a tough week for Les Miles and his LSU coaching staff following a loss 7 days ago. But now they have to get ready for one of the hottest quarterbacks, not only in the SEC, but in the country, in Ryan Mallett and the Razorbacks, who ride a 4-game winning streak into Tiger Stadium. Arkansas and LSU, the SEC on ESPN. It is senior night. The seniors being introduced as we speak, including Saron Black, who is starting a record 52nd straight game for the LSU Tigers. 24 seniors will take the field for the final time tonight. It will be an emotional night. In front of a packed house, ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton Hotels, brings us to Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge as the Razorbacks of Arkansas come in against the Tigers. Senior night hasn't been that great as of late. Hasn't been a great week here either in Baton Rouge. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler. That's because of what happened a week ago. That's all anyone can talk about. After a comeback by LSU made it a 2-point game against Ole Miss last week, they got to the Rebel 32-yard line. Then it was an incomplete pass, a sack, and a completion. Then almost inexplicably, 17 seconds were let tick off the clock by the LSU coaching staff before they came up with 9 seconds and one last play that was supposed to go to the end zone. But Jordan Jefferson was hit as he throws. Terrence Tolliver brings it down well short of the goal line at the 6. Then apparent confusion on the sideline, in the booth, on the field, and they couldn't get the field goal unit out. They couldn't get another play off, and there goes the final tick. And the final chance to beat Ole Miss in a 25-23 loss. That is all last week. It is time now for LSU as they get set to come out of the field for the final time at home tonight at Tiger Stadium. They hope that it'll be a win, looking for their 9th victory this season. Ranked 15th in the country, but are they reeling by what happened a week ago? That's about what we're going to find out right now as I welcome in my partner, Todd Blackledge. And Todd, that's it. You know, you always have another week. They got to put that thing in the rearview mirror because this is a good Arkansas team.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes in the last 50 seconds. You learn from them if you're a coach, if you're a player, and you move on. And that's the beauty of athletics, is the chance to go out a week later and redeem yourself. And, you know, if that's not enough motivation for LSU, this game still has tremendous significance for both teams in terms of the postseason. I expect LSU to be ready to play tonight.
And Les Miles will lead them out. Because of Mississippi State's win over Ole Miss earlier today in the Egg Bowl, that means this game for LSU that much more important. And here come the Tigers. We've got fireworks on the field, and this guy can create some sparks as well. Todd, that's what they've got to get ready for. Not only the hottest quarterback in the SEC, one of the best in the country.
Yeah, he's absolutely playing outstanding right now. Can really throw the football. And, you know, you talk to defensive coordinators all the time. They always say, almost verbatim, you got to stop the run. You got to stop the run. With this Arkansas team, you better be ready to defend the pass because Ryan Mallett will stretch the field vertically. He has tremendous arm talent. Not only does he lead the league in touchdown passes, he leads the nation with completions of 25 yards or more. So you have got to be ready to defend the whole field.
Number 8 scoring offense in the country, number 8 scoring defense in the country. Let's go down. Third member of our team, Aaron Andrews.
Brad, thanks so much. Coach, you told us yesterday you addressed the end of the Ole Miss game twice with your team. What did you tell them about moving on and focusing for tonight's game?
Well, this night's game's where we're at. This is what's before us, the opportunity to get victory, send off 24 seniors, you know, the last time in Tiger Stadium with victory, and we're in pretty good position. We just win one here, we'll end up finishing third. So
your quarterback Jordan Jefferson also mentioned, you know, that game still it hurts him. He's still thinking about it. What's his mindset heading into tonight?
It looks pretty sharp to me. He had a good week of practice. He's getting healthier. I think we're ready to play.
All right, Les, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Brad.
The Tigers looking for their 9th win of the year. Can they get it against Arkansas, a Red Hat Razorback team? We'll find out. It's the SEC on ESPN. Kickoff next. Arkansas won the toss. Bobby Petrino wants the football. That's that NFL mentality that he brings to this high-powered offense. They want it first to see if they can score. So Josh Jasper will tee it up for LSU. Dennis Johnson back deep. He took the opening kickoff of the year for a touchdown, coast to coast. Saturday night in Death Valley. Nice kick. It'll go to the end zone, and Johnson will let it go. That brings out the guy that Todd and I have been talking about, Ryan Mallett. Almost 3,200 yards already and 28 touchdowns, a school record in both categories.
You know, the thing about him that's really fascinating to watch, and I've seen him a lot on tape, is every game, I mean, there's about 3 or 4 throws every game that you see and you run it back, you say, you know what, I don't know if there's anybody else in the country right now that can make that throw.
He's got 4 wideouts, and he's in an empty backfield to open things up from the 20-yard line. Mallett 6'7", so not only a wicked arm, but great height to see over the oncoming rushers, and here they come. On first down, he tries a stiff arm, and he's got to throw this one away, but there's a flag down. I think Livingston was offside.
Well, certainly pressure on Ryan Mallett is going to be critical tonight for LSU, but you got to wait till the ball snapped before you can actually get after him. You know, the teams that caused problems for Ryan Mallett, the good defensive teams he played, Florida, Alabama, and Ole Miss, all beat Arkansas, and they all did it with the same formula. Pressure on Ryan Mallett and making him uncomfortable in the pocket.
And even in one of the games we saw early in the year when he threw 5 touchdowns against Georgia, on the last series, Georgia finally got pressure on him. So that's been the key. Steve Shaw is the referee. So 1 play, 1 flag, 1 call.
Offside. The left defense in on the defense. Intentional grounding on the offense.
Well, 1 penalty, but 2 fouls offsetting. So we'll try it again.
It's first and 10. Again.
Mallett leads the SEC in passing yards, total offense, and pass efficiency. Different set now, but they'll still empty the backfield. Quick slant, got his man on the run and still going all the way out near midfield. Greg Childs, his big play receiver and his leading receiver.
Well, an immediate adjustment offensively by Paul Petrino. They got pressure the first down, so he brought 2 tight ends and just went with 2 wide receivers. The little quick slant, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly, and Childs, the leading receiver for this Arkansas team, makes a nice play out of it.
Averaging 18.5 a catch. You got 27 right there. So Arkansas moves it out to the 47-yard line. They'll try the ground game. And good for maybe 2. Roderick Green, the ball carrier. As you take a look at the offense for Arkansas on top of your screen, including Joe Adams, who missed some games with actually having a mild stroke about a month ago. But he's back and healthy. He's a dangerous receiver. And, you know, Ledge, one of the things Mallett does better than anything, I think, is mix it up. He gets everybody involved.
They spread the field, and he sees the field. And he is comfortable throwing to anyone on this offensive unit.
Right now they got a 2 tight end set in there with Dennis Johnson taking the tailback spot. 2nd down and 8. Opening drive of the ball game. And there goes Johnson. Nice stiff arm. Got the corner. 40. First down. Not going to be slung out of bounds till he got inside the 30-yard line. So they lost Michael Thompson to injury earlier this year, a guy that was a 1,000-yard back and one of their leaders. This is a different kind of runner. Dennis Johnson, a little bit bigger.
Well, they got him overloaded. They don't have enough defenders on this side of the formation. Ryan Mallett sees it, checks to a run on that side. They bring the guard, Mitch Petrus, out. He kicks out the outside linebacker, Riley, and they just had more blockers than LSU had defenders on that side of the formation.
3. So a good-looking opening drive so far for Arkansas. They've moved it already to the Tiger 28-yard line. Adams in motion. They fake the toss on the bootleg. Throwing, intercepted at the 5. I don't know where that one was going, but it's coming back the other way with Chad Jones. Jones got a block. And steps out of bounds at the 14-yard line.
Ryan Mallett has been an excellent quarterback on bootlegs this season.
Chad Jones, his 3rd interception of the year. He was the only one home back there at the 5-yard line. LSU has the ball on offense when we come back. Chad Jones, 2-sport star here at LSU with his 3rd interception of the year. Only the 7th interception of Ryan Mallett. Much like a week ago, his 2nd throw was picked off. This one also on the first drive. And Todd will show you what went haywire after we check out Jordan Jefferson at LSU with their first offensive snap from the 14-yard line. Jefferson's got to get rid of it in a hurry. Got pressured. Got it complete to Dixon, his tight end. And Dixon's out of bounds at about the 19-yard line.
I want to show you what he wanted to do on this bootleg. DJ Williams is the #1 target, and the #2 target coming out here is Joe Adams. Well, LSU is expecting bootleg. They're going to cover both of those 2 primary targets. Now, I don't know if Mallett was trying to throw this one away and didn't get enough on it or what, but he threw it right down the middle of the field to the free safety, Chad Jones, and a costly mistake for Arkansas.
2nd and 5 for LSU now, as Ridley spins his way to a first down and more. Boy, they can use that tonight. Stephen Ridley takes it out for a first down across the 30-yard line.
That's interesting. For the last couple years, everybody talked about they have too much talent at tailback at LSU. I mean, how are you going to get the ball to all these guys? They have all these great backs. Well, they're all hurt now.
Yeah.
It's all down to Stephen Ridley, and he's got to shoulder the load tonight. But I think he's excited about it. I mean, I think he wants that opportunity.
They lost Charles Scott to a broken collarbone. Richard Murphy went down a knee injury to Vanderbilt, and then last week broken ankle by Keelan Williams against Ole Miss, so that makes Ridley the man. Jefferson running out of time. Down he goes, tries to throw it at the last moments. I think they're going to say that Adrian Davis had him down. For Davis, that'll be his 6th sack of the year.
Well, it's maximum protection. They keep both backs in. That shouldn't happen. I mean, they shouldn't be able to get that kind of quick pressure on the quarterback when you have 7 guys in protection. But it was a nice effort by Davis to get to the quarterback.
So that makes it 2nd down and 17 for young Jordan Jefferson. Safe play is Ridley. That's not going anywhere, though. Maybe got a couple. Talk about after that interception that Todd already dissected for you. Watch what happened at the end of the play.
Yeah, well, everybody tries to block the quarterback. And, Raheem Alem is thinking this is a chance to get an extra shot. And Petrino says, hey, wait a minute. They can't do that to my quarterback. I mean, yeah, he threw the pick. I'm mad enough at him, but let's not let that happen to him as well.
He's still adjusting his helmet over there, waiting for his next chance. Meanwhile, 3rd down and long for Jefferson. He rolls out to throw, and he's got pressure again, and he's going to get rid of this one. He learned from a week ago. Throw it away, don't take the sack. Even though this is early in the ball game, not in the final seconds.
Well, this is still a young quarterback who is developing and learning. Gary Croton is an experienced offensive coordinator, but he's got a very young quarterback who is still kind of growing on the job. And that was a safe play on the bootleg. If it's not there, throw it away, and let's punt and play defense again.
Derek Helton will punt. Jarrell Norton is back on the other end for Arkansas. Helton averaging just under 41 a kick. Norton, fair catch, taken at the 38, maybe the 39-yard line. Good field position for Arkansas. Neither team able to score on their opening offensive possessions here in Baton Rouge. Arkansas's second offensive possession now after driving down into LSU territory, and Ryan Mallett throwing his 7th interception of the season. They've got good field position again, though, after the punt, working from their own 39-yard line. There's the guy that picked him off last time, playing center field. Empty backfield again. Mallett with 4 wideouts on first down. Crossing pattern, completes it. Childs on the run. First down and a bunch more. And he stays in bounds. Finally knocked down as he got all the way to the 34-yard line. So Greg Childs on both possessions has come up with a big play. That one, 27 more yards, just like he had the first time.
Yeah, he got kind of lost in the LSU secondary that time. It was a short crossing route right in front of the quarterback, and nobody accounted for him as he came from the slot position.
First down, Arkansas at the 34 of LSU. Ronnie Wingo checks in to the Razorback backfield, and he's dropped for no gain as we check in for the first time tonight with Reese Davis. Reese?
Hello, Brad. Thrilling finish between Missouri and Kansas in our Taco Bell studio update. Late in the fourth quarter, Todd Reese had been sacked for a safety. That loomed large when Grant Russell knocked through a 27-yard field goal, and the Tigers beat Kansas and Mark Mangino by 2.
Wow, 2-pointer in the Big 12 here in the SEC. Arkansas 7-4, LSU 8-3. And with what happened earlier today in Starkville, there's still a lot of meaning to this ball game as far as where their bowl trips will be. Let's take a look at Arkansas's impact players. Broderick Green taking over the reins now at tailback for the most part, and he's been in there several times tonight. Greg Childs, we've seen him with 2 27-yard pass plays already. And on the other side of the ball, Wendell Davis leads us club in tackles with 72 stops. Third down. Arkansas 37% team on their third down conversions. 3rd and 6 here.
3-man front by LSU. They like to bring their pressure packages out of the 3-man front more than a 4-man defensive front.
They're sneaking up there right now. Here they come. Mallett in trouble. Got away from one. Throws to the end zone. Just overshot his tight end, DJ Williams. So again, pressure got to him. You can see he's got enough arm, even moving to his left, to get it a long ways downfield, but it's incomplete.
Well, Perry Riley is the guy that's going to come free. A lot of pressure coming right up in the inside for LSU, and they force him out of the pocket. He does a nice job eluding the initial pressure, but not able to make an accurate throw. John Chavis, the first-year defensive coordinator at LSU, is a man coverage guy, and he likes to bring pressure and play man.
Tejada will try a long field goal, 47-yarder. Kick on the way, and it is going to move right into the middle. Nice kick. Arkansas on the board first. Alex Tejada's 12th field goal of the season gives Arkansas an early 3-0 lead. Monday Night Countdown served up by Applebee's at 7, kickoff 8:30. Monday Night Football on ESPN. That will be a beauty.
You could eat all day in New Orleans,
yeah,
which doesn't get much better than that. and then roll into the Dome for the game that night would be.
Only you would think about eating all day. Some of the fans might do more than just eat all day before they get ready for that game. Arkansas went 31 yards in 5 plays to get the field goal, squibbing the kick down to the 16-yard line of Trindon Holiday. He's got unbelievable speed if you give him a little crease. Holiday's got a blocker in front of him. He gets the corner. Look out! Bumped out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And takes a coach or a trainer or somebody over there with him.
That was a nice job by Rudell Krim, number 4, of just maintaining his outside position, because you mentioned the speed of Holiday. If Krim takes at all a poor angle on that, even the slightest bit, Holiday's going to get outside him. Watch number 4 fight off the block and maintain that outside position and use the sideline to his advantage and not let Holiday turn the corner.
Couldn't play it any better than that. Even though they start at the 40-yard line, they will take that any old day than letting him get the edge. He would have been gone. Russell Shepard now in the Wild Tiger offense. Now comes up under center momentarily and backs into the gun. maybe a yard. That's it for Russell Shepard. Talked about Trendon Holiday. You can't give him any room because he is the reigning NCAA 100-meter outdoor champion. Watch him fly out of the blocks. You're going to see a guy pull up who's pretty darn fast as well. Jacoby Ford of Clemson actually had the lead on Holiday, and right there went the hamstring, and there went Trendon Holiday, 10 flat. Not bad. Some guys are fast. Some guys are fast with football gear on. He's both.
Yeah.
Second down and 9. Jefferson. Quick screen in the middle. First down to Russell Shepard. Let's take a look at LSU's impact players tonight. Now, we talked about the problems they've had at tailback. Trendon Holiday will get some work there as well. So between special teams and running out of the backfield, he'll be a big part of the offense. Brandon LaFell, their leading receiver, has got 9 touchdown catches on the year. On the other side, Kelvin Shepard, kind of a rarity. Not only leads the team in tackles, he plays all 3 linebacker positions. That doesn't happen very often. So just shaded into Arkansas territory. First down LSU. Jefferson comes up throwing to his tight end. And 3 or 4 yards for Richard Dixon before Jericho Nelson tossed him out of bounds.
Dixon tackled by Jericho Nelson, 31. Picks up 2 yards.
That's about a 2-yard pickup. Jefferson only turned 19 back in late August. So when we talk about him being a young quarterback and being a sophomore, we're not kidding.
And he's battled an ankle injury the last couple weeks. Coaches think he's healthier this week than he's been the last couple weeks. And he's a dangerous runner as well when he's healthy.
Holiday's in the backfield with him. Here he comes. Trendon Holiday got the corner down the sideline. Knocked out of bounds, but he gets there in a hurry.
See, that's the difference. On the kickoff return, he wasn't able to turn the corner and get those shoulders headed right downfield. This time, he is able to get to the edge. And you see how quickly he turns it into a big play. Gets a nice block on the outside from Terrence Tolliver, his wide receiver. And then Holiday gets the rest.
I mean, you can't run 19 yards that fast, usually.
Well, you and I can't,
No.
that's for sure.
No, that would take a day for me. The 28-yard line. Arkansas's defensive lines come close to jumping off sides a couple of times, courtesy of Jefferson snap count. Now, a little bit of option. Late pitch, Holiday. He's got another first down at the 16-yard line. Ramon Broadway finally brought him down, but the little guy goes 12 more. So he had 19 on that last run to the right side, 12 more coming back to the near side.
And we've already seen what LSU has to do in this game because of their injuries to the tailbacks. You see the nice patience by Jefferson on the pitch, but we've seen Ridley, the starter. We've seen Shepard in as a tailback, and we've seen Holiday playing more tailback tonight than he's played the last few weeks.
Ridley back in there now. LSU first down in the red zone. Jefferson.
Oh boy, had a guy wide open late. Still got him.
Still got it for the touchdown, Brandon LaFell.
I thought he was going to miss him because he had him right away. He had 2 guys right away. And he waited, but he still got a touchdown.
Jordan Jefferson, his 15th scoring toss of the year. Josh Jasper in for the point after. And LSU's got a 7-3 lead at home, with 5:21 remaining in the first quarter. And don't you know, this packed house is thinking, wouldn't we have loved to seen that play with 1 second left last week?
Well, take a look now. He's going to have this one open and an outside receiver open almost immediately. And for some reason, Jefferson doesn't throw it right away. He gets there. Now he sees it again late, and he still is able to get the throw. Tolliver was open. LaFell was open. And LaFell gets the touchdown. And for some reason, a breakdown in the back end of the Arkansas secondary.
Number 80 and number 1 both standing there. One snatches it, one's waiting on it. So a 60-yard scoring march in 6 plays.
16-yard pass.
LaFell, as we said, one of our impact players. That's his 10th touchdown catch of the year, 15th scoring toss for Jordan. Dennis Johnson again will drop back, awaiting the kick of Jasper. Johnson averaging 27 yards per kick return. He has one touchdown. I mentioned a 91-yarder for a score. The opening play of the opening game. We'll have a chance at this one from about the 6. Ooh, not going to make it to the 20. Great special teams, and Ryan Baker let him have it as we take you back to that scoring toss.
Well,
Todd?
Here's what threw off the Arkansas defense. I mean, this is an unbalanced line. There are 3 offensive linemen and a tight end on this side and only 1 offensive lineman on the back side. So Arkansas sees this. They're thinking run all the way, and they just had a breakdown. The formation really fooled them, and LSU got the touchdown out of it.
From the 19, play action for Mallett on first down. Again, has to come to his check down receiver. Got across the 25 out to maybe the 27-yard line to Broderick Green, but he was looking deep again, it looked like. At least to start with.
Well, again, this is an offense that doesn't, they don't nickel and dime, and they don't stretch you horizontally near as much as they do vertically. And with a guy with that kind of height and vision to see over the defense and the arm strength to throw it downfield from anywhere, that's a good strategy. Look deep and throw short if it's not there.
And they get the first down on the ground. Broderick Green. Again, we talked about Michael Smith, who was their big-time tailback a year ago. Injured his hamstring, out for the year. So Dennis Johnson, Broderick Green, Ronnie Wingo, they all kind of share that tailback spot. So out to the 31 with the first down for Arkansas with 4:10 remaining in the first quarter. They trail now for the first time, 7-3. Mallett scans the field, throws complete. Nice catch by Childs, who went up in the air and got it. It's going to be short of the first down. It'll be second down and about 2 after we check in again with Reese.
Brad, our Dr. Pepper SEC update. Tennessee has beaten Kentucky 24 straight times. Cats were up 7-0. Montario Hardesty went in to tie it. Wildcats on the move, though, in the red zone. It's on ESPNU.
Here it's second down along 1 at the 39-yard line. Williams, the tight end, on the move. Green hurdle one man, probably going to have a holding call right in the middle of the pile.
Well, LSU really teed off on that snap count. Ryan Mallett's got to be careful of changing up that snap count. They timed it up and just drove right into the backfield.
Here's the call. Holding, number 66 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
It's Petrus, right guard. Let's check in with Aaron.
We had Arkansas early in the year against Georgia, and then head coach Bobby Petrino told us Ryan Mallett's pretty wired, fired-up kid, kind of crazy on the sidelines. He's really toned it down, according to the head coach. And I was watching him on the sidelines after that interception, after LSU got pressure on him the second series, and he was very, very calm. But again, his quarterback coach stressing to him, just calm down.
Wants to throw a screen pass here, and he's going to get rid of it, throw it away. It just wasn't there. Nice defense again by LSU.
Well, he may be calm, but before the game, his quarterback coach, Paul Petrino, was pretty animated. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback coach that fired up. He was jumping up and down and hooting and hollering at the guys, and so maybe he took on some of that emotion and said, hey, you keep it a little bit calmer, and I'll pick up the slack for you.
Third down and 11. 4 wide receivers. Mallett in the gun. Comes up, has a word with his offensive line on 3rd and long. Here comes the heat again from the backside, and now the front door. Down he goes.
And that shouldn't happen either. That they had a 3-man front again. This time they only rushed 3. They dropped 8, and 3 beat 5. 3 for LSU, beat 5 for Arkansas. And they get the sack. Watch, only 3 guys are coming.
Drake Nevis is the guy that finally gets it, but the initial pressure came from the outside. And LSU picks up its 18th sack of the year and forces a Dylan Breeding punt. Brendan Holiday standing back at about the 35-yard line for LSU. And he should have a chance on this one from the 41. Holiday midfield. All the way down to the 36-yard line. He's doing it as a tailback. He's doing it as a return man. This game the last 4 years has been tight. The last 4 meetings, LSU won in 2005 by a couple. By 5 in 06. And then Arkansas turned the tables in 3 overtimes to win in 07 and last year 31-30. Right now in the first quarter it has 1:48 remaining, 7-3 LSU. 23-yard return of a 36-yard punt for Holiday. Here's the pitch to Shepard. Shepard got good yardage. He got about 8.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if there was any question that LSU people had, and the people around the country, college football people, wondered how would LSU respond? I mean, after the heartbreaking loss and the debacle at the end of the game, how would they respond and come back? Les Miles told us it was a good week of practice. He thought his team would come out and play well. I think they have responded. Defensively, they've set the tone, and Jordan Jefferson looks pretty confident as well.
He's in the shotgun with Ridley flanking him. And Ridley will try to get to the edge, but he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. With a minute 24 remaining in the quarter. I think sometimes the kids are a lot more resilient than the coaches.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that guy, Gary Croton, the offensive coordinator, may have taken it harder than anybody. I mean, some of the play calls at the end, and he was dealing with some injury situations to tight ends and injury situations to tailbacks, and so he was calling passes when maybe some people thought he should have called runs. And you know, coaches are always going to second guess themselves. I think he had a lot of sleepless nights this week leading up to this game.
3rd down and 2 here. And Shepard in there, and he's just buried. He never got a head start. So the hybrid tailback, quarterback, wide receiver in there on that snap, and that one went nowhere.
Wendell Davis did a nice job of just knifing in there from his middle linebacker position. Arkansas was anticipating an option or a quarterback run with Shepard under center and brought pressure behind the line of scrimmage and got the stop.
Josh Jasper, 12 of 15 on the year. And he'll try a 47-yard field goal. Kick on the way, and it is perfect. Both kickers have hit from 47 now. With 8 seconds remaining in the quarter, LSU takes it back out to a touchdown lead. You know, Todd was just talking about Gary Croton, the offensive coordinator, and the confusion in the final stages of that game last week. And we talked to him about what went on and what his feelings were.
You have to learn from experience. I feel horrible about how the game ended. You know, I thought the players were very valiant right there to the last second and still without getting the victory. But we're going to learn from that, and we'll be in a better situation for the rest of my career, and I'm sure Jordan's career and Coach Miles' career and everybody involved.
They were talking with us about the fact that they didn't feel, even with the chains being moved, that they had time to get the field goal unit out there. And the play that was actually called was set to go to the end zone, but Jefferson got hit so early and couldn't get enough on the throw that's where the catch was made at the 6-yard line. Then they have a play they call go win. The only problem is it was a shotgun snap, and you can't get a shotgun snap off with a second to go.
Never would have been able to, even if they reset the chains. And so, there were so many things that went on in that last couple plays. And but I think all of them, you know, coaches never stop learning, players never stop learning, as long as they grow from it and learn from it. And I think they've changed some of the mechanics of how they handle the end of the game situation, both on the sidelines and on the field, and hopefully they'll be better for it.
They never get in that situation again, but you can bet they worked completely differently this week in some of those areas. Dennis Johnson from the 2. And he's still taking guys with him out to about the 27-yard line. End of the first quarter. LSU holds serve at home with a touchdown and a 47-yard field goal. We played one at Tiger Stadium. LSU in front. Arkansas just about set to go to work on offense with Ryan Mallett, who's got 28 touchdown passes. Came into the game third in the FBS in scoring tosses. Almost 3,200 yards coming in. 5 300-yard passing games. He's had 3 games with at least 5 touchdowns off that big right arm and off that big 6'7" frame. So that's what the LSU defense is dealing with tonight. So far, they've done a good job.
So he's got a real presence about him too. You know, he's young. I mean, he's just a sophomore, but he's a captain. I mean, the team has responded to him. They've rallied around him, and he has a very confident presence on this football team.
He works his offense for the Razorbacks' 27-yard line. Johnson trying to get to the edge, and he got a yard or 2 out of it, and it really didn't look like he was going to. It'll be second down and long. Flag on the play.
And the reason you see Arkansas continuing to run, even though their bread and butter is throwing the football, is because play-action pass and bootlegs are such an important part of what they do and how they get big chunks of yardage.
Personal foul, face mask, number 44 on the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
All right, so right there, McCray with the face mask, and it's an automatic 15 yards. Welcome you back to Baton Rouge. Talking about Ryan Mallett, started his career at Michigan, transferred, sat out last year here, but worked that scout team, and they knew what they had, Bobby Petrino, and he knows what to do with quarterbacks. Yeah,
he does. I mean, he's great at coaching the passing game, and it doesn't always work out when kids transfer, but for this guy, it really worked out well. I mean, he grew up an Arkansas fan. He wanted to go to Arkansas. It wasn't a good situation when he was being recruited, and so he went to Michigan. But he ended up being able to come back home and not only come home, but play for a guy that's preparing him for the next level.
Interesting you said that sometimes it doesn't work out. It worked out for both guys, you and a guy that was with you at Penn State who transferred.
Jeff Hostetler. Yep, sure did. Went to West Virginia, had a great career, won a Super Bowl with the Giants.
Second down and 6. And going to be a false start. Ray Dominguez. In this case, we'll say the right tackle. They go strong and weak, not right and left, so those guys play both sides. Dominguez, a junior, out of Bainbridge, Georgia.
Before the snap, false start, number 73 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
I mentioned that every game Ryan Mallett makes 3 or 4 throws that not many people make. This was last week against Mississippi State. He gets flushed out of the pocket as he's fading back off his back foot, hits Childs for the touchdown. Now, one of the questions is his foot speed, mobility. He doesn't have to be a 4-5 guy. He's just got to be able to elude pressure, and he's a better athlete with his feet, I think, than people give him credit for.
He talked about when he was growing up, kind of always wanted to be a Razorback and ended up being one. He wanted to be a 3-sport star at Arkansas, baseball, basketball, and football, as he rifles this one down the middle, incomplete. Darius Wright, the intended receiver. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 11.
Good protection again. He's got that height so he can see over the defense, just not able to get quite down enough on this throw to Darius Wright. And that enables Chad Jones to come in and break it up.
Jones already with an interception in this first half. Arkansas 3rd and 11. Mallett will get what he can, and it isn't much.
LSU's defense out of their 3 down linemen front on 3rd down is creating some problems for Arkansas. They're getting pressure on the quarterback. They're confusing him a little bit with their coverage. And Ryan Mallett not able to get comfortable on 3rd down against him so far.
Raheem Alem and Livingston and Edwards, those defensive ends, have gotten some nice pressure on Mallett, forcing the punt here again by Dylan Breeding. Trendon Holiday has been about one guy away from breaking a couple of big ones here tonight. He's back as a punt return man. He'll take this one from the 13-yard line. Holiday, forget it right now. Touchdown. "87 yards for Trendon Holiday." That's what you call impact.
Yep. Well, they say you got to make the first guy miss. He got a little help from Patrick Peterson making the first guy miss. Then he got another nice block in there by Jai Eugene. And the rest was Trendon Holiday and his world-class speed.
And at the end, he could just cruise into the end zone. Extra point by Jasper is good. We said he's been one man away from doing it. That one man got picked up, and there was nobody in NCAA football that's going to catch that guy. Boston, a look ahead to the Monday night game down the road. But tonight it's the SEC on ESPN. Presented by Hampton Hotels, our college football primetime. And so far, LSU definitely no hangover from what happened a week ago. And Trendon Holiday just lit up the crowd with an 87-yard punt return for a touchdown. It's already got 165 all-purpose yards. Dennis Johnson, see what he can do from the 11. They know that he is very capable of taking it to the house, too. He got it out to the 30-yard line. We take it out to Reese Davis. Reese?
Brad, the last time Kentucky beat Tennessee, Lane Kiffin was 9 years old. 24 in a row. Reverse. Randall Cobb already had 10 touches plus in the first quarter and change. 4 catches. 14-7. Kentucky has the lead. It's on ESPNU.
Wow, Kentucky put together a nice season. A win last week over Georgia in the late stages, and now a lead on Tennessee.
I think Rich Brooks is really an underrated coach in this league. I mean, I think he does an excellent job.
Roderick Green maybe got a couple. Eugene made the tackle. So now Arkansas, they didn't want to find themselves in a 2-touchdown hole, even though they're one of the better passing teams in the country.
Well, you know, if you had to choose one of these teams that really didn't want to be in a 2-touchdown hole,
Good point.
It's better off being Arkansas than LSU, because the offensive firepower Arkansas has, at least you know they can strike quickly.
2nd and 8 from the 32. They're going to try to run it. They get maybe 2 more. Perry Riley made the stop on Green. It'll bring 3rd down and about 6.
Excited to see what John Chavis's defense is doing. I got to tell you, this is the first game that we've done since he left Tennessee, and when he walked in the meeting with us in all purple the other day, I was shocked. I mean, I've seen him so many times in Knoxville wearing the orange. And,
20 years worth of orange.
Yeah. And I was just blown away seeing him in purple yesterday. But he loves it here, and he's become very, very comfortable as the defensive coordinator here for LSU.
We're down at 6. Here comes the extra pressure. Mallett fires. Nice catch. 1st down out at the 42-yard line. Jarius Wright, not the tallest of the receivers that he's got to work with, and he stretched all of that 5'10" out to make that grab.
Again, Ryan Mallett able to see over the defense, and then the arm strength. Just throws that there. You know, that ball doesn't stay in the air very long.
No.
I mean, it's an out route, and if you slip at all, like the defender McCray did on that play, you have no chance, because the ball is to the receiver in a hurry.
Blitz. Mallett in trouble. Down he goes. No, he got away. He does trip up way back at the 27-yard line. Boy, they brought the house that time, including Harry Coleman.
I think Perry Riley is the first guy that gets there and forces him to move. Watch Perry Riley come right in here. That's going to be the initial pressure that causes the problem for Mallett.
That's 2nd down and 25. And just not enough guys protecting number 15 that time. 3 sacks for LSU already here in the first half. 10 minutes remaining, second quarter. Mallett stands tall, and now he's going to do what he can up the middle before a slide at the 36-yard line. Todd was talking about the teams that got pressure on Ryan Mallett are the teams that were successful in containing him.
Yep. Well, and you see the sacks allowed, and also it affected his whole MO. I mean, he only completed 39% of his passes in those 3 games. He threw only 1 interception, but only 3 touchdown passes as well. So the pressure really affected Ryan Mallett in those games, and so far tonight, it's affected him as well.
See if he gets some more here. It's 3rd down and 17. Deep middle. Incomplete, intended for Greg Childs. And Arkansas will have to punt it away again.
Well, that time, good protection, a 4-man rush, and Mallett was able to stand in there, and it was single coverage down the field. And Mallett just not accurate with the throw. Man-to-man coverage with a little robber in the middle and the safety deep, and the ball just sailed again on Ryan Mallett.
If I was Ryan Breeding, I'd try what I could to keep it out of number 8's hands on the other end.
There's a guy with a red coat about 6 yards off the field, out of bounds. I'd kick it to him. Heading there.
It's heading there.
Right by that guy with the red coat. That's the guy I would kick it to.
Good call. That's good coaching.
Yeah. Kick it to him.
Well, so far, Ryan Mallett and the Arkansas offense has been ineffective. They trail by a couple of touchdowns. Beautiful night around the bell tower in Baton Rouge. Brad Nessler, Todd Blackledge, Jared Andrews, and our ESPN crew, and our prime time presented by Hampton Hotels. So far, LSU dominating this game 17-3. At the 22-yard line. Tigers offensively now with a 2-score lead, 9:08 to go. First half. Jordan Jefferson back. Has all day. And now he's going to keep it. And gets it out to about the 29-yard line, which gives us an opportunity right now for tonight's trivia question, which is, who was the youngest quarterback to start the season for LSU? We've already talked about the youth of number 9, who just scrambled for about 6 yards. Is he the youngest, or do we have somebody else? Think it over. 8.5 to go in the half. On the ground is Ridley. First down. Stephen Ridley all the way out to about the 47-yard line. His best run in a long time.
Well, this was that same unbalanced line look that they scored the touchdown on. See, one lineman here. You got a bunch over here. This time, instead of throwing it, they're going to run the ball. And they get a nice run for Ridley. They're using this unbalanced line, and it's fooling the Arkansas defense.
Now it's Jefferson who's going to keep it, and he's going to lose yardage. That was a pickup of 18 on the previous play, and let's check in with Aaron.
Brad, the Memphis media today all abuzz that Larry Porter, running back coach and really chief recruiter for LSU, will be announced as the new head coach for the Memphis Tigers tomorrow. Now, again, there's no official word about this, but I did pull head coach Les Miles aside today during warm-ups, and I said, will you be losing your running backs coach? Kind of gave me a little smile and said, hey, there's nothing official. I'll let you talk about this flag here, Brad.
Substitution violation on the offense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Brad, when I'm asked asked Les Miles about it, like I said, he did smile. He said, hey, there's nothing official out there. If we do lose him, that's sad for us, but that's the beauty of college football. Larry Porter will be going home to Memphis. He played there in the early 90s. He was the 4th leading rusher in Memphis history, and one of his teammates, Isaac Bruce, made a huge case for Larry Porter to come home and coach that team. And like we said, no official word, but the media is saying that could be announced tomorrow.
Thanks, Aaron. And he was the number 4 rusher, over 2,700 yards, and was a captain of the '93 team there at Memphis. Jordan Jefferson again on the scramble, so unable to find a receiver downfield, and he scrambled for a couple of good gains.
You know, and the other thing about that, I mean, his title here at LSU is assistant head coach and running back coach. So Les Miles obviously trusting him with some of the administrative duties of being a head coach. He was with them for 3 years at Oklahoma State before they came here, and so certainly a great opportunity for Larry Porter if, in fact, that's what's going on with him in Memphis.
And apparently the Louisville job is either open or soon to be as well. The other buzz about the coaching carousel that will begin shortly and could carry on for several weeks, if not longer. Jefferson, that one looked like Brandon LaFell should have gotten it, but it's incomplete. I don't know if he broke his pattern off or just stopped. I'm not sure.
Well, I can understand maybe why he didn't run in there any further, because there was a defender there, but I think the arms could have extended just a hair further out towards the ball.
Jericho Nelson was there. He's kind of one of those hybrid safety outside linebacker guys. That might have had something to do with it. At any rate, forces a punt from Derek Helton. And Jarrell Norton will be back deep for Arkansas. Helton's kick. Fair catch called for, and they're going to have to let it roll down. It's going to be a beauty at about the 4-yard line. So the Razorbacks are going to be in a little bit of a hole. They trail 17-3. You think you're in a hole, if you're one of those guys, things get even worse. Todd's Taste of the Town is coming up next.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana is an eater's paradise, and there's a great spot that first opened in 1988 called Sammy's Grill that is right in my wheelhouse. Now, for starters, I went with a dish called Shrimp Bienville, blackened jumbo shrimp sautéed in a garlic cream sauce and then served over French bread, topped with Parmesan cheese and green onions. Now, the main attraction at Sammy's is the boiled crawfish. In fact, on a busy night, 3,000 to 4,000 pounds will be served. The crawfish are placed into an elaborate cleaning machine, washed, rinsed, and separated. Then the live crawfish are put in a special seasoned water and brought to a boil for a short period of time and then ready to serve. Time to go to work.
Definitely time to go to work. You know, you take coaching well. Because when we went in the back room there and saw how all that's done, you said, you know, I'm not sure I got the system down about breaking the tail.
On the one that was on camera, I still didn't. I got a little too much shell in there.
Yeah, well, you did a good job, though.
But by about halfway through that bowl I had it
You
down.
had it down.
I had the system down. Kind of like eating pistachio nuts.
That's
you got to
right.
get the system down.
I tell you what, the crew had it down. You talk about 3,000 to 4,000 a night. I think they ate about 1,000. We had the whole gang with us the other night at Sammy's. Don't forget, you can win a $100 gift certificate to Sammy's Grill. You can log on to ESPN.com. Search Taste of the Town. Tell us why you deserve to win, and you might be going there to get into a bunch of that. Handoff, Green, cross the 5. That's about it.
Yeah, I got to just finish this up about Sammy's, because I've always loved coming to Baton Rouge because there's so much great food. And I've always thought people just love to cook and they love to eat in Louisiana. And I rolled into town late Thanksgiving night, and Sammy's was one of the only restaurants open. And I went in there just to check it out. About 10:30, the kitchen had closed a half an hour, and JB was working in there. The manager said, I can fix you this, and I can make this for you if you want to have something. And it was a great Thanksgiving meal with my son Eli and Sammy's at about 11 o'clock Thursday night.
I was going to say, it's probably the first time Eli's had Thanksgiving dinner at 11 o'clock at night. Levingston with a big hit on Broderick Green, and right now Arkansas is not moving out of the shadow of their own goalpost. 3rd down and long. And this is a dangerous spot right here when you got 3rd and 9 and Mallett, should he choose to throw from his own end zone. He's already had one picked off in the first quarter.
Well, the Petrinos were concerned about whether they could block this defensive front of LSU. They're a big physical group, and they've not had much success blocking them.
They're 1 out of 5 on their 3rd down conversions. Mallett right on his own goal line. From the end zone, Ryan fire. Oh! Incomplete. And Chad Jones just about took the head off Joe Adams. Well, you got to give Joe Adams credit. He hung in there. He didn't short arm anything, and he took that lick on an incomplete ball.
Yeah, 3 on 3, and the 3 in white got the better of that one.
Well, the 3 in white's 231 pounds.
Yeah.
The 3 in red's 180.
And guess what? Number 8 for LSU gets it at midfield again here with another opportunity.
Dylan Breeding is backed up to his own end line. That's Trindon Holliday, who already took 187 yards tonight. He's going to have another shot. Mishandled it, though, and Arkansas, if he touched it, they got it. And they do. Freddie Burton. Trindon Holliday had a long way to come and then put his arms out. I don't know if he lost that thing in the lights or not, but he misjudged it badly.
Yeah, he never really got close enough to it. And it did hit him. You could see the way the ball bounced. It looked like it hit his right hand. And, of course, he wasn't protesting that it didn't hit him as well.
Right. Just a fingertip, I think. And I mean a fingertip.
Yeah. To me, the thing was his reaction afterwards. He didn't act like it didn't hit him at all. I mean, if he would have thought it didn't hit him or graze him, he would have really been protesting.
They're going to review this.
I think it got his finger.
I do, too. I think it barely hit the middle 2 fingers on his right hand and changed the trajectory of how that punt bounced around. It looks like Arkansas will have it. We'll be sure when we come back. Holiday weekend. Trindon Holliday's got one big play positively, actually 3 big plays. The last one wasn't, as the play will stand as called on the field that he touched this ball and that Arkansas was able to recover.
And this ends up being a huge play for Arkansas, because if LSU regains possession and they're inside of the Arkansas territory, would happen to score again before halftime, a very difficult situation for the Razorbacks. Yeah. But as it is, they get the ball in field position again.
And the perfect scenario would be a 14-point swing for him, because if Holiday fields that thing, he might be off to the races again. Now they've got a little under 5 minutes to work with to try to do something about this 17-3 LSU lead. Arkansas, their first 5 plays went for 79 yards. Their last 22 snaps have netted them 28 yards. They got to get something going on offense. Joe Adams trying to do it, and still going. Joe Adams.
He gave the ball to Dennis Johnson, I think.
And Johnson's got a first down.
This looked like rugby.
Oh,
this didn't look like football.
I know. Okay, that's Joe Adams, number 3.
Joe Adams on the 1. He's going to hand it forward to Dennis Johnson right here.
They run into each other.
And you take it and you leave the scrum, and I'll try to keep the defenders here.
Wow. That's a zany one. We haven't seen that one yet this year. And it's a first down in midfield. Mallett fires in and out of the hands of Greg Childs. We go to Reese Davis. Reese.
All right, Brad, conference championship game starting to take shape. East Carolina's already made it in Conference USA from the East. Houston can beat Rice. They're on their way in the West. Opening kickoff, Tyron Carrier looks as if he's running from Houston to Greenville, North Carolina. All the way back, he houses it. Houston does have the lead after that kickoff return for a touchdown.
Now, while they had a kickoff return for a touchdown there, we had a punt return for a touchdown of this one. LSU in command 17-3. Ryan Mallett and the Razorbacks trying to change that in the next 4:17. Trying to take advantage of Holiday's muff punt that they recovered. They're 50 yards away from the LSU end zone. Trying to run a little quick opener. And Dennis Johnson got about 2. Jacob Cotrera, the inside linebacker, made the stop.
Right now, Bobby Petrino's got to figure out some way to get his quarterback on a little better rhythm. Ryan Mallett is not in a good rhythm right now.
Throwing high.
Throwing high. He's not getting his back foot set cleanly. And he just doesn't look like he's looked when he's played well.
DJ Williams is such a big part of their offense. I don't think he's aimed one at the tight end yet tonight. Mallett throw is behind Darius Wright.
Even that one. I mean, he's got an open receiver. He looks tentative to me right now. And again, that comes from just not being comfortable, not being confident right now. And when you're tentative and try to aim the football, you don't throw it the way you're supposed to.
Dylan Breeding in punt formation on a 4th down and 8. And it's Chad Jones who's gone back deep this time instead of Trendon Holiday. Jones has a 93-yard touchdown on a punt return to his credit this year, too. So you take one speedster out, and you got another guy that's just about as dangerous. He'll let this one go, and it will reach the end zone. With 3:26 remaining in the second quarter. Well, a little bit earlier in this quarter, we asked you tonight's trivia question, and it was, who was the youngest quarterback to start the season for LSU? Well, we mentioned Jordan Jefferson was 19 in August. Not the youngest, though. Y.A. Tittle in 45. 18 years, 11 months, and 6 days. Y.A. went to become a star in the NFL and a Hall of Famer. Was actually drafted twice in the first round, in 48 by the NFL and in 51 by the All-American Football Conference. You don't get to be a #1 pick in 2 leagues in 2 different years that often. I don't know if that's ever happened. Maybe 2 different leagues in the same year, but not different years.
I live in Canton, Ohio, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I go there quite often. I'm on the board of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and one of my favorite photos, they have so many great photos, is the one of him on his knees with, the blood trickling down his head. I mean, that's one of the awesome pictures in the history of football.
There's a new book out, and there are actually 2 different versions of that picture, and they were taken almost at the exact same time, and one's just a little bit different than the other one. But it is one of the all-time great photos ever taken in sports. You think about that one, you think about Muhammad Ali standing over Cassius Clay, and some of those that you never forget once you've seen them. Trendon Holiday stopped for no gain, 2:42. Arkansas has all its timeouts remaining, as does LSU. Did I say Muhammad Ali over Cassius Clay? I meant over Sonny Liston. I had Cassius and Muhammad. He didn't want to knock himself out. That would have been too smart. Right now, Arkansas trying not to knock themselves out of their 8th win of the year. LSU at home here with a 17-3 lead. Russell Shepard comes back in at that tailback spot. So basically, you've got 2 guys that can throw the football back there. And it's Jefferson scrambling around and heading to the sideline.
Well, the only thing he probably shouldn't have done there, it was a good decision to run, good decision not to force the throw, but not a great decision to run out of bounds and stop the clock. You know, if you're going to go down and you know you're going to be short, go ahead and go in the field of play, and if anything, make Arkansas burn a timeout.
So Arkansas has 2 minutes remaining here. Should they get a good punt return here, it would help their cause. As Helton's backed up inside his own 10. High kick. Beauty. Will go out of bounds right about at the 40. Let's see, they're going to walk it up to the 44-yard line. So Arkansas is going to have an opportunity here. Let's take a look at tonight's Good Hands Flashback, brought to you by Allstate. 7 years ago, Matt Jones hit Richard Smith for 50, and then trailing with 20 seconds left, got it to Corey Birmingham in the corner of the end zone, tying the game at 20. The fans rushed the field. The Hogs were penalized 15 yards. But on the extra point, David Carlton came through a 35-yard PAT, and the win was 21-20. Right now it's 17-3. They got some ground to make up. Full complement of timeouts for Mallett. This time down the sideline, and he had another guy open and way too far in front of him. As we check in again with Reese Davis. Reese?
Brad, not too far away from the Wendy's halftime report. It was Tim Tebow's Swamp Song. His home finale against Florida State will show you a virtuoso performance by the Gator quarterback. Also some fantastic finishes all across the country. And which bowl is the perfect fit for undefeated TCU? Mark and Lou are here. They'll weigh in when you come back to halftime.
Mallet fires, and this time he throws a perfect ball, and Kobe Hamilton, the freshman, dropped it.
Well, this is a pass offense of Arkansas that has been outstanding, the best in the league. And they are just not in sync tonight. When the receivers are open and the quarterback's been high, this time the quarterback's right on target, and the receiver can't pull in the catch. Hamilton.
Kobe Hamilton had a huge game in the win over Mississippi State last week. And that one he let get away, and now it's 3rd and 10. Mallet almost sacked again, and now he's just going to throw it. He completed it to Wright. He's got a first down. Wow. Jarius Wright, and a wicked throw back to the sideline. I actually thought he was trying to throw it away.
Yeah, I don't even know how he got this off. Great pressure again, right up the middle. Forced Mallet to lead the pocket. It looked like he was going to go down. I think he was just throwing the thing away, trying to get it to the sideline, and it ends up a first down for Arkansas.
At the 43-yard line, so they've still got life. Mallet steps into this one, and incomplete. Reggie Fish had a hand on it, but couldn't hold it.
Mallet's pass on the right sideline is intended for Reggie Fish. Incomplete.
Again, the thing about this offense, I mean, you can't take plays off against them. Even though the quarterback is a little out of whack right now, is a little out of sync, they can still strike for 6 points on one play. He's got the kind of arm to hurt you if you have any kind of a breakdown in your defensive coverage.
All 3 wideouts to the near side with Williams, the tight end, in tight on the right on a 2nd and 10 at the 43.
This is trying to be a double audible. Ryan Mallet called something, LSU changed, and he changed back.
And he'll go to the run here, and it opens up for Johnson. He might have gotten face masked again.
Sure did. I'll tell you what, that's pretty good work by Ryan Mallet. LSU showed a blitz. Ryan Mallet checked to a pass against the blitz. And then LSU countered that and went to a 3-man rush and was going to drop everybody out. And Ryan Mallet went up and audibled again to a run.
Personal foul, face mask, number 56 on the defense. That'll be a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Barry Riley with the face mask call.
Okay, here's LSU showing blitz, and then now they're going to check out. And he says, you know what? That's all right. I got enough time to check again. And he goes to the run. And the penalty adds yardage for Arkansas.
Now Arkansas is in the red zone, and they've made a living down there this year. Mallet throws, and it's complete right at the line of scrimmage to Dennis Johnson. Arkansas this year in the red zone came in 41 out of 42 on the year, which is tops in the country. So they should get something out of this. I don't know if Mallet's cramping up or not, but he's stretching while they take a timeout. They've still got plenty of time to work with. 2 timeouts remaining, 61 seconds till halftime. And Mallet still slinging it. His team down 14. The SEC on ESPN with Todd Blackledge and Aaron Andrews and our ESPN crew, Brad Nessler, on our primetime telecast from Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, where LSU has a 17-3 lead. But that's what Arkansas has done in the red zone this year. Their only miss, a field goal against Florida.
Well, and not only that, they attacked the end zone. Of those 42 opportunities, 32 times they scored touchdowns. So, I mean, that's very rare in college football today that have that high of a percentage of touchdowns.
Here comes a blitz at the 18. Mallet throws high again. Greg Childs was the closest guy, but he sailed that one to the end zone too.
There's been enough pressure on Ryan Mallet. I think maybe only 1 sack, but a lot of pressure. Bodies around him, arms in his face. This front, whether it's 3 or 4 for LSU, has gotten consistent pressure and pushed the pocket on Ryan Mallet tonight enough to make him uncomfortable.
Let's see if John Chavis brings the heat again with the LSU defense. 3rd and 10. Mallet fires, knocked down. Beautiful play by Chris Hawkins, who got that left arm around at the 1-yard line to deflect that pass.
Well, Hawkins is a senior working on a true freshman, Kobe Hamilton, and Hamilton tried to stop but didn't get his body positioned well enough to keep him between the ball and the defender.
Ryan Mallett was looking for interference, didn't get the call, and so they'll try a field goal to get something out of this before halftime. Alex Tejada made a 47-yarder. He'll try to get his second of the night. And the kick on the way, and it is good from 35. So they wanted a touchdown, but any points before halftime is an improvement over what it could have been. 17-6 now, LSU. Men's college basketball coming up Tuesday night on ESPN. Doubleheader from the Big Ten ACC Challenge. 7 o'clock, Demon Deacons take on the Purdue Boilermakers. Then at 9, it's a rematch of the 2009 NCAA Championship game. Kalen Lucas and Michigan State trying to take one from North Carolina's Tar Heels. Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Dick's Sporting Goods on ESPN on Tuesday.
I don't think I ever told you this, but my neighbor where I live in Canton, Ohio, when I was growing up was Dickie Hemrick, who was one of the great players in Wake Forest history. Worked for Goodyear and
Dickie, a legend at Wake. So a 38-yard drive in 9 plays. A little over a minute to get that field goal. Just heard the fans with a reaction. They just made the announcement for the folks who didn't know that Mississippi State beat Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl today, and rather handily, I might add. And what that means is if LSU wins this game, their bowl game probably improves. And it could be the Capital One. There was talk earlier that if Ole Miss won today, that maybe they'd be headed that way, and the next in line would be the Cotton Bowl. Lyndon Holiday brought down before he can do any further damage. Celebrating his 5th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets. Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To this point, Allstate's contributed more than $2.1 million in scholarship monies. So we're down to 39 seconds. You wouldn't think LSU would be too creative here, but we'll wait and see.
But you're never quite sure with Les Miles.
No, you're not.
He'll do some things or take some chances that not everybody does, but gives it to Ridley, probably the safe thing.
Yep. And Ridley actually lost about a yard.
Ridley carried the ball.
Well, I think if you're Les Miles, though, you got to be real pleased with the way your team responded. They came out, they were ready to play, they were focused, there was no letdown, there was no lethargy. Defensively, they've dominated the game so far. And offensively, they just have done enough. They've made enough plays to have a nice lead going into the locker room. Jefferson,
he'll keep it. And the ball came out at the end, but he was down. And somewhat facetiously, the fans are calling for a timeout with a second to go. Well, they've got a halftime lead. They should be happy with that. LSU heads to the locker room, and we go to Aaron.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. A lot of people were wondering how your team would respond. What do you think?
Our team plays well. They're a tough team. They're ready to compete. They're looking forward to this game.
Another thing they've done well is get pressure on Ryan Mallett. Why?
Well, that was the plan. Get after him. We make him move his feet. Keep the passing game. They're out of rhythm.
All right, Coach. Thank you. All right, Brad.
They've done an excellent job of that. Not necessarily always getting sacks, but always in Ryan Mallett's face. And that guy has got an interception that helped the cause for LSU as well. Halftime 17-6. Time for the Wendy's halftime report. Reese and the guys are standing by. ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Hampton Hotels from Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, where we are set to start the third quarter with LSU in front 17-6. Tejada to kick way high and short. Camped under at the 31-yard line, and this is going to be a return out to midfield by Kelvin Shepard, the linebacker. So whether by design or not, that was almost an onside kick. We welcome you back, everybody. Brad Nessler and Todd Blackley. 7 out of 20 for Ryan Mallett's not going to cut it. We bragged him up a lot. LSU's playing solid ball, and they've forgotten last week, I think.
Well, they have. And LSU is using the same recipe that the teams that gave Ryan Mallett trouble earlier in the season did, and that's get pressure on him, make him uncomfortable, make him move his feet, and he has not been accurate throwing the football. He's been high most of this game throwing it, and the pressure has made him uncomfortable.
So great starting field position for LSU. And it's Holiday on the pitch. Made one man miss. And only got about a yard before he's run out of bounds.
Trenton Holiday carried right side.
Holiday, who electrified the crowd with an 87-yard punt return. Also muffed one that led to a field goal for Arkansas.
Now, LSU's offense, on the other hand, didn't do much of anything. They got the one touchdown pass, but only 113 yards of offense in that first half. So Jordan Jefferson needs to get a little momentum going with the LSU offense as well.
So right now they have 114 of offense and 109 on punt returns. And now Jefferson looking for a place to dive forward and try to get something. And so far, they took great field position and turned it into nothing so far except a 3rd and long.
And you see why both these teams in this matchup have struggled. The LSU offense for the season, 11th in the SEC, 107th in college football in total offense. And the Arkansas defense, kind of the same kind of numbers on the other side, giving up 408 yards a game.
Which is 95th in the country. So here's a big opening 3rd down, especially for the Arkansas defense. 4 wideouts for Jefferson. Has pressure and throws in. Intercepted by the Hogs. Coming the other way. Jerry Franklin, the linebacker. And Jefferson not only had to make the tackle, he took a big hit on the sideline in doing so.
Well, he had an open receiver and threw the ball way behind his intended receiver. Watch to the left. He's going to have Tolliver, number 80, open. And he threw it so far behind him that I think it almost surprised the defensive back, or the linebacker, Franklin.
Franklin's 2nd interception of the season. And now the football is at the LSU 26-yard line. And just like that, if you start thinking like the Petrino brothers, are you thinking, let's go for one right here? They back the ball up now to the 28-yard line, so they respotted the football. Jefferson looking confused, his 6th interception of the year. Wingo scoots on the left side, and he's got 9 down inside the 20.
Great block by Joe Adams, the little wide receiver, only 5'11", 182 pounds, but out there blocking on the perimeter. Got a key block that sprung Wingo to the sideline.
So Arkansas down in that red zone again. Here's the block that Todd's talking about right there.
You don't have to knock him down. All you got to do is get in his way.
Right.
Just kind of separate and be between him and the ball carrier, and it's an effective block.
First down for Arkansas. Wingo again. Got a block again from Adams. Not as effective that time, but he got it down to the 13. We go down to Aaron.
Brad, I talked to head coach Bobby Petrino about all the pressure that they're getting on his quarterback, and he said, yes, they are bringing it. He mentioned just what they're doing right now. They're looking to mix it up, run the ball a little bit more. He also said, Ryan Mallett, he feels, has been rushing a bit and throwing a little too hard. He said, we got to get max protection on this guy as well.
They don't want to waste this opportunity, Aaron, that's for sure, at the 13-yard line. And any kind of ground game they can get from Wingo or Green, as Todd said, sets up the play action. Here's Wingo again. He follows his blockers. He's still on his feet, and he is in the end zone. Touchdown. Tough run by Ronnie Wingo. You talk about turning a Jefferson interception into a touchdown in a hurry. That's what Arkansas just did. 13 yards for Ronnie Wingo. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. Tejada in for the point after. And the complexion of this game in 2.5 minutes has completely changed. Extra point is good. 12:24 remaining third quarter. And just like that, an interception by Franklin. He took it down the sideline. 3 plays later, capping a 27-yard march in just over a minute. Arkansas right back in the game. It's underway with Monday Night Countdown served up by Applebee's at 7. And then at 8:30 down the road at the Superdome, the Saints and the Patriots. Tejada to kick. Again, high and short. And taken at the 27 on the run-up by Ron Brooks. And Brooks to about the 33-yard line. Let's take a look at our SEC updates. Brought to you by Dr. Pepper. If you missed it, Alabama won the Iron Bowl with a drive at the end to beat Auburn, Florida. Tim Tebow wins his final game as they routed Florida State earlier today. And Mississippi State over Ole Miss for the Egg Bowl, which was basically their bowl game because they're not bowl eligible. But that win by Mississippi State creates a little difference about where maybe these two teams are going to go bowling, whoever wins this game. LSU trying to get its 9th win. Arkansas looking for their 8th. And right now it's a fired up Arkansas team after that turnover and the touchdown that's made it a 4-point game.
Yeah, a little different swagger on the entire Arkansas team. Not just a dancing quarterback, but, you know, a little extra pep in the step of the defense that's on the field right now.
Did you ever dance like that on the sideline?
No.
With Joe Pye anywhere near? I didn't assume you did.
No.
2nd down and 9. Jefferson flushed out of the pocket. And he will tuck it and get what he can, and what he can is a first down.
It's a good play for Jordan. I mean, they needed something decent to happen offensively. And you know, he's a little gun shy after that last interception. He doesn't want to force a ball. And so he does a smart thing. He doesn't see anything. Use your legs. Again, his ankle a lot better than it was a week ago against Ole Miss. And he runs for the first down and a new set of downs for his offense.
Picked up 10 yards and that first down. Now it's Holiday with a quick opener. He almost blasted another one out of there. Got 9. Let's check in there.
Todd, you nailed it on the head. Jordan Jefferson really needed that first down. Before the offense took the field for LSU, he was visibly upset, of course, after throwing that interception. Stephen Ridley was in his ear trying to get him to just cool down. He was very upset. And remember, he told us yesterday he's been seeing the final moments of that fourth quarter from that LSU loss play over and over in his head. So that first down monster for Jordan Jefferson.
No matter how many times as a coaching staff you say you got to forget it and go on to the next game. It's hard when you're 19 years old. Here's Jefferson throwing complete to his tight end, and Dixon's got it to the 40-yard line. Dixon putting up career numbers, number 2 all-time tight end in LSU history. I know Reese touched on it. I guess we didn't mention it earlier, but new uniforms here tonight, kind of a throwback look, including the helmets that are closer to an old gold than the somewhat brighter yellow that you're accustomed to seeing LSU in. So you don't need to adjust the color on your set if you're watching tonight. We didn't mention that earlier. Arkansas in all red, which they've done well in this year. They won 3 straight games wearing all red. Here's the throw again to Dixon. And it's another first down.
You know, and just look at the difference in Jordan Jefferson on the last 2 throws after running for the first down. He throws an interception. Aaron reports he looks visibly shaken on the sideline. Now, these last 2 throws, no hesitation. Get back there, set up, step into it, and make the throw with confidence. And it all is the result of him running for that first down earlier in this possession.
Tigers have it inside the Razorbacks' 30-yard line with just under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, and it looks like might have been a false start.
Well, I think Lyle Hitt came out of his stance to protect himself. I think this is going to be against Arkansas.
That's what LSU's saying, so I guess you're right.
Before the snap, offsides, number 92 on the defense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
To Quinta Jones, number 92, he's going to be the guy that comes into the neutral zone, and I think Lyle Hitt just felt him coming and just raised up to protect himself.
Yeah, it looks like a good call. You're right. You could almost see what Bobby Petrino was saying he was drawn off, but he wasn't. So good call by the officials, and it's 1st and 5 LSU. Jefferson straight drop, pressure coming to the end zone, incomplete. No flags. Brandon LaFell is the guy that was trying to reach for that pass. Or is there a flag? There's a holding going, not what I was talking about, but rather a holding call.
Holding, number 53 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 1st down.
T-Bob Hebert, the center.
Well, he's working to try to help the guard, and he ends up getting locked up on him by himself. That's Demario Ambrose, number 58. He was blocking, and there was a lot of contact at the end of this play with no flag, but the hold went against LSU.
So 1st and 15. Back outside the 34. Holiday. Only a couple. Coming up, college basketball, Big Ten ACC Challenge this week. Tuesday nights, Wake Forest takes on Purdue at 7. Then at 9 o'clock, rematch of the national championship game. Michigan State, North Carolina tangle. Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Dick's Sporting Goods on ESPN. Coming up on Tuesday nights. I'm going to have a big week in Clemson with the Big Ten ACC Challenge. I'll see Clemson in hoops on Wednesday, and we'll see them against Georgia Tech in the ACC championship game next Saturday night from Tampa. Clemson took it on the chin from South Carolina today. Jefferson all alone in the LSU backfield. On 2nd and 13, here comes the heat again. Oh, he got away. Goodness. Somehow flags are down as he throws to the sideline, and LaFell's got it. Again, a penalty marker, but you talk about a Houdini act just to get rid of that ball, and then he delivers a strike to LaFell. Let's see if it's good or if it's all coming back.
I don't know how he did that. He literally ducked underneath Jake Beckett.
Number 91 on the defense. That penalty will be declined. 1st down.
Jake Beckett is the guy who jumped off sides, had a clean shot at Jordan Jefferson. Nobody blocks him. What? He has a clean shot. And somehow Jefferson, who is 6'5", ducks underneath him. Right underneath him.
One of those dun 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 dun.
He went from 6'5" to 4'5" in a heartbeat.
Oh, man. Had a great throw, too, and now it's 1st down at the 13-yard line. So we've had several flags on this drive. Going both ways. This one's against LSU.
Before the snap, false start on the left guard of the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Well, Dworsik, the left guard, is the guy who's guilty. Now, there was movement by the Arkansas front, but they didn't come into the neutral zone and threaten the way they did before, and so that time the penalty goes against Dworsik of LSU.
So Dworsik and Hebert both with penalties on this drive on the offensive line for LSU. Still, they're in the red zone with a 17-13 lead, and now timeout. Well, they had everything working with Jefferson throwing the football and running with the football. Now a little bit of confusion again. They'll take a timeout and talk it over. We'll be back in a minute. College football prime time. The SEC on ESPN. LSU leading Arkansas by 4 and threatening again. LaFell in motion. The give to Shepard. And he's inside the 15. Gary Franklin, who had that interception earlier in this quarter, made the stop.
And we mentioned this Arkansas defense has struggled in terms of giving up yards, but one thing they've done, 2 things they've done really well all year. One is take the ball away. They were plus 12 coming into the game tonight. That's Willie Robinson, the defensive coordinator. The other thing, they've played pretty good red zone defense. 36 red zone opportunities for their opponents, only 15 touchdowns. So they've given up yards, but not a lot of touchdowns.
This drive, 4 first downs for LSU. Jefferson all day to throw to the back of the end zone. Touchdown.
There's one.
D'Angelo Peterson all alone in the back of the end zone for the touchdown.
It was a beautiful route by Peterson, and the safeties for Arkansas were way concerned with the outside receivers, Tolliver and LaFell, and forgot about the tight end in the middle.
Extra point. Up and good. Well, the drive at one point looked like it was going to stall. They called the timeout. They came back, and Jefferson found his tight end in the back of the end zone. 24-13.
For the Razorbacks.
The SEC on ESPN, back in Baton Rouge. Brad Nessler, Tom Blackley, Jaron Andrews, and our ESPN crews. Touchdown pass, Jordan Jefferson to his tight end, D'Angelo Peterson, has made it 24-13. I love Peterson. You know, if you're going to be involved in a ball game, if you're only going to come in for one play, catch a touchdown pass. That's the first time he's been in the game.
First play, and credit Gary Croton and Les Miles calling that timeout. You know, they were kind of out of whack. They call timeout, they regroup, they get the play and the personnel, and they get the touchdown.
Kickoff goes to the 8-yard line to Johnson. Had to field it. And does a pretty good job with it to get it out to the 27-yard line. As we take a look at tonight's Verizon Wireless Playbook, Todd takes over right here.
Well, D'Angelo Peterson, you mentioned one play. He's right here. He's going to run out and then to the back of the end zone. Now, the safeties are going to split, and they're going to count on this middle linebacker, Wendell Davis, to guard the middle of the field. But watch what happens. As Wendell Davis looks to his left, he loses sight of Peterson, who gets behind him, and Jefferson finds him for the touchdown. A well-executed play against the right coverage, and LSU with another touchdown.
A man down on the kick return, Jared Taylor, a redshirt freshman out of Franklinton, Louisiana, is the injured Tiger. Was part of that tackle on Dennis Johnson on the kickoff return. We'll check on him, hope he's all right, and we'll be back in just a minute.
088.
Jared Taylor, they're working on him on the sideline. Looks like it's his right shoulder, maybe a stinger. They're continuing to try to raise that right arm up. He's saying, Coach, it hurts right there. This guy plays all over the place. The captain of the defense, Calvin Shepard. 11-point lead for LSU. Ryan Mallett not done yet. Plenty of time. Deep ball for Mallett. Oh, he had Childs wide open and overshot him. As we check in with Reese Davis. Reese.
Rivalry games, Brad, can give you memories that last a lifetime. Utah and BYU in overtime. Utah kicked a field goal, and then Max Hall slings one into Andrew George. Ball game. Cougars win it 26-23. Notre Dame and Stanford, many seeing that on ABC or ESPN2. Irish up 17-13 in the second.
We saw Max Hall start the season down in Arlington against Oklahoma. So he ends his season on a high note after starting his season on a high note.
You know, when we were at halftime and we were off camera and off the air, Aaron was talking to us a little bit about the Arkansas coaches were saying that Ryan Mallett was having a little trouble adjusting to the crown and the drainage setup on this field, that the field back in Fayetteville is completely flat. I was down the field before the game. It didn't seem like a real crown surface the way some older fields used to be, but it's obviously affecting him because he is throwing the majority of his incompletions high, sailing over the head of his receiver.
Third down and 9. This one he throws on the money, and it's complete on the run to right, and he's got a first down. Talk about old stadiums that had crowns. Remember At Oklahoma, when you'd stand on one side, you could barely see the coach's neck on the other side of the field if you were on one side of the field looking to the other.
Yeah, well, this is just a short throw. He gets this one down and takes a little bit off of it, too. He didn't have to throw that one too hard and hits his receiver in stride and gets the first down. Yeah, they used to run that option downhill. Boy.
Downhill, baby. That's where they got the whole term of running downhill, I think. And again, LSU looked like they jumped. LeVar Edwards appeared to jump offside, and he knows it.
Offsides. Number 89 on the defense in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Brad, you mentioned this during halftime as well. Arkansas's field perfectly flat, and you know the buzz around the sidelines here for the Hogs was that most of the fields in the SEC are either turf or completely flat. Brad, I know you can probably weigh in more on that, but you mentioned it. Arkansas, completely flat surface there.
Yeah, they got a brand new field down there. Mallett puts it up, and Childs goes and gets it. That one's just letting your wide receiver make a play.
Let him make a play, and for the second throw in a row, take a little bit off of it. You know, put a little air under it and give your guy a chance to go make a play. A big, tall receiver at 6'3", and he goes up and fights for the football on Chris Hawkins.
29-yard pickup. And it's all the way down to the 19. Here's where that red zone offense of Arkansas's will try to go to work to close the gap again. Draw play, Wingo. He is met after about an 8-yard pickup by Carnell Hatcher, and he got hit pretty good.
Carries the ball across the 15.
Ronnie Wingo, 218-pounder, but he took a big hit. He's still down.
Yeah, Hatcher just caught him flush. Wingo has a nice run and just doesn't get quite low enough and didn't get his pads underneath him, and Hatcher got the better of that collision.
We had an LSU player go out on the kick return favoring a shoulder, and now Wingo trying to push off the trainers and go off under his own power, and does. And he did get him down just outside the 10-yard line. Good spot for Bobby Petrino and the Razorbacks because it's second down and it's only about 1.5 yards. So they can get a first and goal, or they can try to go to the end zone. There's a lot of options here with 4:51 remaining in the third quarter. Niall Davis in the backfield.
Arkansas, a very good bootleg team, and Ryan Mallett, a very good bootleg quarterback.
Davis leaps for a first down and a first and goal. Niall Davis, who Bobby Petrino was telling all of us yesterday, been impressed by the fact that a true freshman can come in and get stronger as the season goes on and get stronger in the weight room and gain a little bit of weight and still not lose any speed.
Yeah, he actually mentioned both he and Wingo, the two of them, you know, that they haven't had to play that much. I mean, they've gotten reps and they've been able to rotate, but they've had depth at the running back position, so neither one of those guys was able to got worn out during the season. They both got stronger as the year went on.
Two tight ends set, Williams in motion. Here's Broderick Green. Touchdown.
Well, some guys just know how to find the end zone.
Don't they?
Broderick Green's one of those runners.
That's the 11th time he's found it this year. Boy, what a way to answer the LSU scoring drive for Arkansas. 73 yards in 7 plays. Tejada's extra point is up and good. All of a sudden, we got a better ball game than the LSU fans were hoping for, that's for sure.
Well, watch the block of the fullback here. John Durman, the senior, is going to lead the way, and Broderick Green is just going to follow him and set up the last part of the block perfectly. He gets right behind him, and he waits to see how he's going to block the free safety, Chad Jones, and then walks right into the end zone.
Broderick Green's 11th rushing touchdown of the year. Remember, they got a big 19-yard completion on 3rd and 9 that kept that drive alive. And they've cut the lead to 4.
And I'll tell you, in that drive, Ryan Mallett completed 2 passes in a row, and I'm not so sure that may be the first time in the whole game that he completed 2 passes in a row.
Unless they were critical. Unless they were the first 2 to Childs. He had a 27-yarder and then another one. I don't think they were back-to-back, but Childs caught a big pass on that drive again. So number 85 hooking up with Ryan Mallett helped keep that going, and they used a little bit of everything they could in that backfield, and Broderick Green scored.
Well, we showed you that graphic, or showed the audience a graphic the last 4 years, this matchup. We knew this was going to be close. I mean, these two teams, when they tangle, I mean, it's usually going right down to the bitter end and maybe then some. A couple overtime games in the last 4 years as well.
3 overtimes 2 years ago. Last year, a 1-pointer. Now it's a 4-pointer with 4:15 remaining third quarter. Tejada's been hit the ball high and short. This time he kicks away. And after everybody creeped up expecting him to kick it the same way, he kicks it over their head. Nice job. 4:15 remaining. Still a lot of big football games coming up in the next few days. Thursday night on ESPN, Oregon State. Next Saturday on ABC, Pitt and Cincinnati. Texas and Nebraska in the Big 12 championship game next Saturday on ABC. And then C.J. Spiller and the Clemson Tigers will take on the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech on ESPN. That's where Todd, Aaron, and I will be next Saturday night in Tampa. And that should be a good one. Going to be a rematch of that Thursday night game. Aaron's already seen those two play once this year.
Well, and it'll be interesting to see how Clemson regroups. I mean, South Carolina got after them today and kind of beat them around a little bit. Got after their quarterback, but they've got to regroup, and still an awful lot on the line. Obviously, a BCS bowl bid available to the winner of that game.
Oh, Stephen Ridley stood up as he got to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as Arkansas's defense stiffens. Let's check in with Reese right now.
Brad, Notre Dame's answering the bell for Charlie Weiss tonight. Jimmy Clausen's having a huge game. So is Golden Tate. Those two hook up for a 78-yard touchdown. Clausen beating a couple of Stanford defenders. Tate was. Clausen has thrown for 3 touchdowns. Tate scored a couple. It's 24-13.
Oh, the Notre Dame offense really hadn't been the problem. Clausen's had a great year. Golden Tate, Michael Floyd now back. Here it's a dogfight, or should I say a hog and tiger fight going on as Jefferson runs to the sideline and gets a first down. Remember, this is how they started the last drive, with him scrambling for 10, and then he got the passing arm going.
And you can tell the ankle is much better this week for Jordan Jefferson. This was the last drive. The critical play, the scramble for a first down that kind of got him some confidence and the team some momentum. Then a couple of big-time throws. And then the Houdini act with the miraculous throw at the end, then the touchdown to the tight end, D'Angelo Peterson. And so again on this drive, it starts with the scramble.
And the same first down run. Now Trindon Holiday. A little speedster, puts his head down and got to the 35-yard line. Jericho Nelson made the stop.
They're getting their money's worth out of Trindon Holiday tonight.
You got that right.
They didn't play him at tailback much this year because they figured Russell Shepard is kind of the same kind of player, and by not playing Trindon at tailback, they could save him for special teams and keep him fresh for that. Well, losing 3 tailbacks changes your strategy a little bit, and you got to go with your best guys, and he's a senior, and so he's playing more at tailback tonight than at any game previous.
He had only 14 rushes before tonight's. Here comes another one to the near side again, and he's got a first down. Holiday out of Zachary, Louisiana. When we talk about a little speedster, 5'5", about 160 pounds. But as we've already seen tonight, if he gets in the open field, there's nobody that's going to catch him, or not many, that can even get close. Russell Shepard in now, but as a wide receiver. As Jefferson throws, completes. Flag down as Terrence Tolliver makes the catch. Penalty marker on the far side of the field at the line of scrimmage. Motion penalty against the Tigers. 2 minutes, 4 seconds remaining third quarter. Coming up Monday nights from New Orleans. Drew Brees, how well is he playing, huh? Perfect Saints at 10-0. They've never been 10-0 before. New England Patriots know all about that perfect record. A couple of years ago it was 16-0. This guy, I know where he's going after this game tonight. He's not going back to Boston, I don't think. He's going down the road a piece and taking that one in. Monday night's countdown begins at 7. The kickoff 8:30 between the Saints and the Patriots. So 1st and 15 now. Jordan Jefferson has a look. Ridley, the tailback in the eye behind it. Play action. Jefferson rifles it across the 45, and again Brandon LaFell, and we got another penalty marker at the line of scrimmage. So they've made it 1st and 15. Maybe they'll make it worse here, but that was a strike he just threw to LaFell.
There were just 10 players on the offense, therefore we had no flag for illegal formation. It'll be second down.
Bobby Petrino working the head linesman. So now it's second down and 6. Down to a minute and a half in the third quarter. LSU shifts offensively. Ridley comes back there with Jefferson down at the 47-yard line. Stepping up, going deep, got a man out there. Overshot Terrence Tolliver. He had a step or two on Matt Harris.
There's just such a difference in Jordan Jefferson right now, though. I mean, he is throwing the ball with some authority and with some confidence. That one was overthrown.
Threw this about 60 yards.
Yeah, but watch him step up in the pocket, reset his feet, and launch it. I mean, he is not hesitating now as he was a little bit earlier in the ball game. Those scrambles and the success on running the football has helped him overall in playing quarterback.
On a 3rd down and 6 for the Tigers. And again, a timeout apparently taken by Arkansas just before the snap.
That's their first timeout of the half.
With a minute and 7 remaining in the third quarter. Bobby Petrino's got to use a timeout there. Hey, with your taste of the town at Sammy's, the folks that got on ESPN.com Taste of the Town.
Yeah.
We got a winner from Shreveport, Louisiana, from Joe. Joe says, my wife just had a baby this past Monday, and I'm going to the Patriots-Saints game. Wow. I could sure use a gift certificate to take her out to eat to make up for the certified bonehead mistake I just made. All right, Joe. I don't know if that's going to help the missus or not. You can take the baby along, I guess. Have fun at Sammy's. Good luck with that, partner. Yeah. I'm not sure that's going to do it, but it's a start.
Well, get her some of that shrimp Bienville to start off.
Yeah, that'll put a smile on her face at least. Well, following the timeout, again, 3rd and 6. Let's see if Jefferson can keep the LSU drive alive. Been very effective the last 2 possessions. Here they come, blitz off the corner, and they're going to get to him.
No, they stopped the play.
Barksdale, the tackle, may have jumped with a false start.
Before the snap, false start, number 78 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
That's the call.
This is actually a break for LSU because Jordan Jefferson was going to get sacked.
Exactly.
Or something worse. And so Barksdale's the right tackle. He's the guy that moves early, number 78. But nobody was going to pick up the blitz coming from the outside, Riddell Krim. And so at least Jefferson gets a chance to reload and play 3rd down again.
The 3rd down now will be 11. Final minutes of the third quarter. stunt in the middle. Jefferson loads and fires, and it's almost picked off, intended for Terrence Tolliver, and Krim got a hand on it.
Yeah, and Matt Harris, the safety, was right there as well. I mean, Jordan Jefferson stared that one down the whole way, and Matt Harris was making a beeline for the football and just not able to get the interception.
This is going to get interesting here now with Arkansas getting the ball back. Jefferson hit as he threw. And as Todd said, both guys back there, Krim and Matt Harris. Helton to punt. It's gotten eerily quiet in Tiger Stadium.
Thinking the same thing, partner.
Fair catch. Taken at about the 14, maybe the 15-yard line. 52 seconds here. Offense for Arkansas coming up after we check in with Reese.
Brad, just what we expected between Stanford and Notre Dame. Cardinal trailing 24-13, a drive just before the half. Owen Marisic squeezing his way in from the doorstep. 24-20 at the break. Clausen's having a big game.
So a 24-20 game there, a 24-20 game here. And the SEC on ESPN with Tom Blackledge and Aaron Andrews. I'm Brad Nessler from Death Valley on a Saturday nights. 52 seconds left third quarter. And now Ryan Mallett going back to work. Quick throw across the middle to his tight end. Good for 8 or 9 to Ben Cleveland.
Boy, he took a shot, too. It was an outside rush by Harry Coleman coming from the blind side, and Ryan Mallett really took a shot at the end of this play. Watch Coleman, number 24, get a clean hit on him. Got to completion. And again, Ryan Mallett, now that's 3 completions in a row. So starting to get a little better rhythm in this Arkansas passing game.
A look to pick up the first down, and Johnson does. Cotrera, the linebacker, made the hits, but Dennis Johnson, beg your pardon, has the first down. Arkansas had a 3-0 lead. They have not led since. They've got a quarter to try to turn things around. Both teams holding up 4 fingers, hoping that the last 15 minutes is theirs for victory. Into 3, LSU trying to hang on at home.
What I do, cause I do what I do like I'm doing it for TV. Like the apple that the doctor prescribed. Transform like more than meets the eye. Mr. Go Ill, player.
The SEC on ESPN from Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. We start the fourth quarter in a tight game now. Tigers leading by 4 and trying to hang on. Arkansas has got the ball and a first down at the 26-yard line. And look at how even things have been tonight. 8-second difference in time of possession. Mallett, quick throw out in the flat to Adams, put the brakes on, and they're going to put the brakes on him. Joe's going to lose a yard, I think.
Yeah, it was Chad Jones that was there first, reading that play and slowing the momentum of the play down before somebody else could finish him off.
Chad Jones, he and his brother, both starters. Raheem Alem, his brother, number 84, starts on the defensive line. Second down, 11. Here comes the heat. There goes Dennis Johnson. Broke a tackle. First down. And he's out of bounds.
Nice job by Dennis Johnson. You know, when a team blitzes against a run, they can either knock it for a loss, but if you can get to the second level and break a tackle, you can turn it into a big play. Look at all those white shirts around the line of scrimmage, and then one missed tackle, and Dennis Johnson is in the back end of your defense.
It was a great move to cut it to the outside, and then there's where he slipped away for the added yardage to pick up the first down at the 42. A 17-yard run by Dennis Johnson. .62 on the night. Mallett on first down. Quick slant. Got his man at the 45. Childs And a first down at the 40 of LSU. And that might put Childs over 100 yards receiving. He picks up 18 more yards.
You know, this is weird. You mentioned a little bit ago that it had gotten quiet here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking across the stadium, and it's looking like it's emptying out, too. I mean, there are people leaving, and there are empty seats here with a 4-point game with 13 minutes left.
I see what you mean.
It's bizarre.
Especially here, where there was 93,103 when we started. There's not anymore. This time it's Wingo inside the 35 to the 34. You know, this week was such a tumultuous week for the LSU coaching staff. Their fans were so adamantly upset about what happened in the final stages of the Ole Miss game. And, you know, we talked with people that said, well, you know, it'll be a sellout. But everybody might not show up. I think they all showed up, but you're 100% right. They're starting to leave.
Either that or they're in line to go to the bathroom at the end of the quarter.
It's going to be a big bathroom. I got to tell you that. Jefferson warming up on the sideline, but right now it's Ryan Mallett on the field at the 34-yard line. Quick opening draw. Wingo changes hands with a football and gets a first down.
Boy, how tough is Wingo? I mean, this guy got his shoulder knocked out of place. He drags his arm off the field. They must have popped it back in or did something for him, and he's right back out there slamming it into the line of scrimmage.
Nice job to change hands with a football. Pick up the needed yardage for the first. He'll get a breather. Dennis Johnson comes back in, so it's Johnson and Wingo, the 1-2 punch, and then when they get down close, they give it to Broderick Green.
Yeah, the end zone sniffer.
Yeah. First down at the 28. Johnson again. Only about a yard before he stood up, trying to rip the ball out of there. They're actually running the ball with more effectiveness than they are passing it tonight.
Well, and that's the mark of a good coach. I mean, Bobby Petrino, I mean, he knows offense, not just passing game.
Right.
He knows, number one, you got to have balance, and he also knows if a team is taking something away, then you try to exploit something else. And they've gotten pressure on his quarterback in the first half. He was not comfortable, and the running game has taken the pressure off of Ryan Mallett here in the second half.
2nd and 8 from Mallett. Wants to throw a screen. Nice job defensively by LSU, and Calvin Shepard again on the stop.
And because that screen pass was a little bit high and the receiver had to jump for it, that enabled the LSU defense to get there and stop it for a very short gain. Watch Johnson have to go up in the air to catch this football. If he can catch it with his feet on the ground, maybe he turns that corner a little sooner.
And how about the pursuit by Shepard, Ledge, as he led the pass rush and then turned around and got back there and made the tackle. Actually lost a yard. All of a sudden, the crowd that's still here is coming to life. 3rd and 10. 5 receivers for Mallett. He's going to try to run for it, and he stopped in his tracks at the 23-yard line.
And I'll tell you, LSU has gotten away with a 3-man rush a lot tonight. And that shouldn't happen. 5 blockers. They're only going to rush these 3, but it's enough pressure to force Ryan Mallett to leave the pocket. They dropped 8, so they have 8 in coverage, but Raheem Alem, coming from the outside, gets enough pressure on DeMarcus Love to force Mallett into the scramble.
Alex Tejada, 2 for 2 tonight. He really needs this one from 40 yards out to make it a 1-point game. Kick on the way. And he just tucked it in the right upright. Big time kick by Tejada. And it's 24-23. 9:52 remaining. The SEC on ESPN, and it's getting interesting in Baton Rouge. College basketball coming up Tuesday night. It's the Big Ten ACC Challenge, 7 o'clock. Wake takes on Purdue at 9, a rematch of the NCAA title game as Michigan State takes on North Carolina. Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Dick's Sporting Goods on ESPN Tuesday. I don't know if you can see through those outfits or not, but if you can, the LSU fans have seen their lead dwindle to 1. Mallett getting a breather. He led a 62-yard drive in 11 plays. They capped it with Tejada's 40-yard field goal. And now Alex with the kickoff, with LSU's lead down to a single digits. 2 yards deep. Ron Brooks decides to bring it out. And maybe he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
This one is a one-point game. As we said, they're always close recently. How about a couple of years ago? LSU was in the running for the national championship. Darren McFadden, 3 rushing touchdowns and 1 passing. Peyton Hill has caught the winning touchdown from 9 yards out in the third overtime, and Arkansas won a thriller 50-48. This one isn't set up for overtime with the score the way it is, but it can't get any tighter now after LSU really had things in command. But a interception early in the third quarter, a couple minutes into the third quarter, changed the whole complexion of the game, and it's been Arkansas with the momentum ever since. Jefferson, strike.
Nice throw.
Beautiful throw to Brandon LaFell.
Ever since the interception Jefferson threw and came back on the field and scrambled for a first down, he has looked like a different quarterback. He's throwing with confidence, he's throwing with assuredness, and he's throwing with accuracy. This is a nice throw on the run to LaFell. Good double move by Brandon on the sideline. And another first down.
So LaFell's got 70 yards and a touchdown now. Childs on the other side for Arkansas, over 100 yards receiving. Those have been the 2 main targets tonight for these 2 quarterbacks. End around coming, Trindon Holiday puts the brakes on and cuts back inside to get about 4.
Now here's one trend with these 2 teams this season in terms of scoring and when they score the most points. I mean, LSU has done their most damage in the first quarter and the third quarter. And when it gets to the fourth quarter, they have only outscored their opponents by 4 points. Arkansas has played their best in the second and the fourth quarter and have outscored their opponents by 26 in the fourth. So momentum changing. You can feel it a little bit with Arkansas, but a nice drive here to start for LSU.
Second down and 6 for the Tigers. Jefferson on a counter to Ridley. Got 1 block, and then he got walloped at the line of scrimmage by Wendell Davis, the middle linebacker. Here's a third down of the ball game for sure. 8:20 remaining. And they're going to try to hustle it up. Arkansas trying to get their people lined up on third down and 6. Well, it looks like everybody's set.
Well, there's no more element of surprise if they were trying to do that initially. Now you better just make sure you got the right play called.
Jefferson over the middle, and he tucks one in to his tight end. They had the right play.
He's a different guy. I'm telling you, he's a different looking quarterback than he was when he threw that interception. And it's kind of like we're watching him come of age a little bit. I thought last week in the game against Ole Miss, he threw for 250 yards, and he showed great toughness because he was under heat, under duress. And I wondered whether he'd take a step forward tonight or not, and right now he is.
They needed that third down. They hadn't converted one. Now they have, and they keep things going as Ridley dives down to the 42-yard line. Tough run after the catch by Stephen Ridley. You got to love this kid. He had an injured knee, tore his ACL the second spring practice. He was back in about 3.5 months, and now he's the starting tailback because they lost all those other guys to injury.
Yeah.
Basically, at the beginning of the year, he was their 5th tailback.
Yeah. And he wasn't even a full-time tailback. He was a fullback slash tailback, just kind of, another guy. And now he's the guy.
He said to us yesterday how ready he was for this opportunity, taking every advantage of it. In a pistol set here, he'll get the handoff, but he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And again, Wendell Davis, the middle linebacker, is the guy that made the stop. Now, we talked about how tough can your luck be with tailbacks. Charles Scott goes out with a broken collarbone against Alabama after a great run. Keelan Williams last week broke his ankle in the loss to Ole Miss. And Richard Murphy hurt his knee in the Vanderbilt game. There's Charles, his last appearance here, too. And that's what you hate for the seniors not to get to play here. And there's Keelan on crutches in their final game.
Yeah, those 2 guys are seniors. Charles Scott had started 22 consecutive games. I mean, he was their main workhorse back.
Another third down. They got the last one. Will they get this one? It's Ridley in the open field, and he's got it. Down to the 34-yard line.
Did a nice job of breaking the one tackle from Matt Harris. Matt Harris came flying up and tried to throw a shoulder low at him, and Ridley is able to keep his balance. Watch him know the hit is coming, and he knows it's coming low, and he's just going to lift his legs up enough to get by that one, and then Norton gets him to the ground, but not after Ridley had gotten the first down.
Down to the 34. 1st and 10 LSU. Clock winding down to 5:45. A 1-point LSU lead.
Les Miles called that timeout. Stepped out on the field and called it.
That's their second timeout of the half.
They have one left. Arkansas has 2 left. We have a 1-point game with 5:43 remaining. Cool night on the Mississippi, warming up inside Tiger Stadium, though. 24-23. LSU hanging to a 1-point lead. Their quarterback warming up big time when they need him. Yep. Look at those numbers in the second half. Almost the only stray throw was that interception that led to an Arkansas score. First down just inside the Razorbacks 34. Jefferson loads, reloads, and now he's going to scramble for what he can get inside the 30.
And you see the difference in his ankle. It's still not 100%, but see, he couldn't make that kind of quick move and adjustment in the pocket and scramble a week ago against Ole Miss. He hurt the ankle against Alabama. He's got treatment. It probably won't be 100% until he can get off of it for a few days. But he's much better than he was a week ago, and he turns a negative play into a positive play on that one.
LSU brings in the extra tight ends. Ryan Mallett would like another chance. 5 minutes left in the game. Jefferson stumbles a little bit as he sets in the pocket and fired too low for one of those tight ends, Richard Dixon. And I think we got a Georgia Tech update. Let's check in with Reese.
Brad, last year's score at halftime was Georgia 28, Georgia Tech 12. First play of the second half, Jackets scored. This year it took them all the way to the third play, putting a new meaning into the term hitch and go. Demaryius Thomas caught the hitch, and he goes. Houses it. 3rd and 3 play, but Georgia just answered with a Caleb King 75-yard run, extra point pending.
3rd down, 6, 30-yard line.
So the Dogs trying to pull an upset over number 7 Georgia Tech. Here, the 10th play of this drive. On the ground, Ridley. And he runs into a whole bunch of Razorbacks. No gain or very little on the play. And now the Boo Birds are out again.
Well, LSU tried to sneak a run in there on that 3rd down play. They threw on 1st and 2nd down. And going to try to increase their lead to a critical 4-point lead if they can convert this field goal, which means Arkansas would need to score a touchdown to take the lead. So this is a very, very important kick right now.
Josh Jasper will try it. Made the only one he tried earlier tonight from 47 yards away. Jasper, the kick on the way, and it looks good, and it is. 2 of those tonight from the same range, but Ryan Mallett's already got that chin strap hooked up, ready to try to come back and win this. At 7 o'clock with Monday Night Countdown, served up by Applebee's. Then inside the Superdome, those two will tangle at 8:30. With Todd Blackledge and Aaron Andrews and our ESPN crew, Brad Nessler from Baton Rouge. It's all come down to 4 minutes and 5 seconds, and Jordan Jefferson would have loved to have hit his tight end on that last pass, but instead they had to settle for a field goal. And now the door is left open just a little bit for Arkansas and Ryan Mallett, who have 2 timeouts to work with and 4 minutes as well. Oh, fumbled ball, but picked up. Brandon Barnett trying to get to the far side, and he gets something out of it. Ooh, that was dangerous. Let's get a Notre Dame Stanford update. Here's Reese.
A little trickeration, Brad, from the Fighting Irish early in the second half. Direct snap to Robert Hughes. Golden Tate. There's Jimmy Clausen, who originally lined up at wide receiver. I'd say Stanford lost Michael Floyd in the secondary. 31-20 Irish up in the third.
You know, one thing I think Arkansas has got to be aware of here is they've got a lot of time left, so they don't have to just throw the football. They've had some success running it. It's taken pressure off of Ryan Mallett here in the second half, and so they can still run and throw at this point in the game.
2 timeouts to work with, but Mallett's going deep on the first throw. Just off the fingertips of Jarius Wright. That would have taken it all the way down to the 33-yard line.
Went after Jai Eugene. Number 4. Stayed away from Patrick Peterson, and he's beat. I mean, he ran right by Eugene, and it was a good throw, just off the fingertips, as you said.
6 more inches, and that would have been a big-time completion. But in the second half, Mallett 6 out of 8 after a rough first half. And
Eugene's cramping up.
Yeah.
He was cramping up as he was running at the end of that play, and he's going to probably have to come out.
This is going to work to Arkansas's favor for a couple of reasons. First of all, he's going to have to come out. Second of all, they've got plenty of time to talk over on the sideline what they want to do with a 2nd down and 10.
Watch Eugene as he turns to sprint. I mean, he looks like he's laboring. He doesn't look like a fluid cornerback right there.
No.
He gets run by, and he's struggling to keep up, and then you see him cramping up at the end of the play.
Junior out of St. Rose, Louisiana. Yeah, he can't even put any pressure on that right leg. Meanwhile, Ryan Mallett had a chance to talk with Bobby Petrino on the sideline, and he'll hustle back to the huddle. Remember, the big play receiver tonight for Arkansas, as it's been all year, has been Greg Childs. They have not used the tight end virtually at all, and he's a big-time player. Childs is over 100 yards receiving. They still have 2 timeouts to work with. 3:50 left, 2nd down and 10. Arkansas on a 4-game winning streak. LSU trying to hold on senior night at home. Mallett, quick throw, in and out of the hands of Childs. He had a hand on it, but the coverage was pretty good.
They've hit that 3 or 4 times tonight. Chris Hawkins, who came in for Jai Eugene, gets his hand enough on it just to distract Childs, and Childs not able to come through with it. It was a good throw by Mallett, right on the shoulder.
Childs tried to pin it against his right shoulder pad and just couldn't come up with it. 3rd and 10.
Three-man rush again.
Mallett throws a strike, and it's caught. Johnson's got it for a 1st down. Out of the backfield, Dennis Johnson. Huge play on 3rd and long.
He caught it short of the 1st down, but was able to break a couple tackles and easily make the 1st down. When he catches it, he's a yard short, and he gets hit by Hawkins, but he breaks that tackle and then easily gets the 1st.
At the 43, they go to the quick opening draw to Johnson. Another 1st down, this time on the ground. Down to the 43-yard line.
See, they've got time and they've got timeouts, so they don't have to just throw, and it doesn't have to be, all passes in this drive. They need a touchdown, but they can still be balanced and make that LSU defense play honest.
So far, it's a Dennis Johnson show on the last 2 plays. Another 14-yard pickup. Now Mallett on 1st down, stands tall, has all day. Flags are down, and the pass is incomplete.
Boy, back-to-back drops by Childs. Usually reliable, leading receiver. And this one would have come back anyway with the holding, but that's not a good sign for Arkansas that your top receiver drops 2 passes on a critical drive.
I'm not sure that one didn't hit him right between the 8 and the 5. I don't even know if he got his hands in front of it. Here's a call.
Holding, number 71 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat 1st down.
Wade Grayson, the guard, with the penalty. Here's the throw.
Yeah, another accurate throw. Right on. You're right. Right between the 8 and the 5. And wouldn't have counted, but it's in the back of his mind right now that he's dropped the last 2 that has been thrown to him. And it's in Ryan Mallett's mind that 85's dropped 2 in a row.
Remember Jai Eugene on the bench, cramped up. Mallett going to go deep again down the sideline and incomplete. This one intended for Darius Wright again. That streak pattern down the sideline. They tried it a couple of times. One just off his fingertips. That one didn't have a chance.
See, that's the thing about this Arkansas offense. They are a vertical stretch passing game. They are going to attack you down the field. So even if you think they're going to try to get something underneath and pick up the first down and be conservative, you can't rest on them.
Tell you what, Mallett put that one where only his guy could get it. Hit the chalk mark. There's the numbers. 2nd down and 20. They don't need all 20. But they need to get some of it here with just under 3 minutes to go. Ryan Mallett flushed out of the pocket, directs traffic. Now fires, and it's
they said he dropped
incomplete. Johnson again.
Nice job by Charles Alexander, number 91, pushing the pocket. He was able to make Mallett leave the pocket and relocate. Didn't get a sack. Doesn't get a tackle for loss, but he gets enough of a push to make Mallett readjust and reset the throw.
You almost get shocked that there isn't a holding call when you have that much time back there.
Well, they still don't need to get all 20 here on 3rd down. This is 2-down territory for Arkansas. Mallett's got to be thinking at least 10 here.
Mallett steps up, throws on the run, and it's complete. And they did get it all to the 30-yard line. And now you can hear a pin drop in here again.
Well, Ryan Mallett shows great poise by stepping up in the pocket. They've gotten pressure on him. They've made him readjust. He resets his feet and then makes a tough throw. He's moving right, and he throws it back left, but he throws it accurate for the first.
They got another LSU player down. On this drive, they've converted a 3rd and 10, and now even bigger, a 3rd and 20. Lamar Edwards is the injured Tiger. We'll take a break here. You don't want to go away. 2:35 remaining. Ryan Mallett still slinging it. Childs caught that one, and the Hogs have a 1st down. A lot of close ones, Reese, and that's what we have here. 27-23. Arkansas with 2 timeouts remaining, a 1st down at the LSU 30-yard line. Here comes a blitz on Mallett. Fires incomplete. Intended for Jarius Wright. Patrick Peterson was covering.
There was a little contact. There was a little bump as the ball was in the air, but no call. Single coverage. It was a blitz.
Looked like he had a hold of his towel.
Yeah. You know, we had an injury timeout a minute ago, and even though it was an LSU player that was hurt and had to leave the field, I think the timeout really helped LSU because it enabled their linemen to rest. They were getting a little winded, and it allowed John Chavis to pull them all together and get them all squared away to try to stop this Arkansas drive.
Johnson in the backfield with Mallett. Johnson picks up the pressure. Mallett throws.
Oh, wow.
Incomplete as Joe Adams was leveled at the goal line. Both players trying to get up.
And there's a
Neither able
flag
to
down,
so far.
too. I mean, they're going to call I don't know, but that was a collision.
Let's see if it's a pass interference or a helmet-to-helmet penalty. Chad Jones still isn't up, and he's 230 pounds.
Now let's wait and let him sort it out. I thought the timing of the hit was good by Jones. Whether he led with the helmet or led with the shoulder, it happened so fast I couldn't tell.
Personal foul, helmet-to-helmet contact.
Huge 1st down.
If he doesn't make the hit, it's a touchdown because it's a perfect throw by Mallett. Yeah, he did leave up there with the head.
15-yard penalty puts it at the 15.
I don't know.
1st and 10, Arkansas. They'll go with the run. Johnson, he's only going to get about a yard before he's swarmed under by the Tiger defense. We're going to be down to 2 minutes here in a moment. LSU only one timeout left. Arkansas with 2. They're talking to Joe Adams on the sideline, talking to Chad Jones on the sideline. Neither is in good shape after that collision at the goal line.
Well, and this is more critical for LSU because Chad Jones is a leader in the back end of that defense, and to not have him in the red zone is a big loss, a big void for LSU.
3 wideouts for Mallett, 2nd and 9. 1:38 left. Mallett all alone in the backfield. Lofts it to the goal line, incomplete. Looking for his tight end for about the first time all night in DJ Williams.
Yeah, good coverage by Kelvin Shepard. He was running underneath the tight end. He knew he had safety help over the top. Watch number 11 just get underneath DJ Williams and stay there. He knew he had a safety over the top to help, and he just stayed between the ball and the receiver.
Joe Adams has come back in after that big hit. He is one tough cookie. Field goal does Arkansas no good. They need a touchdown. 90 seconds left, 3rd and 9. Mallett, plenty of time, fires the out, and Childs can't hold it.
But it was high again, Brad. It looked like he had gotten that problem solved here in the second half. And this looked like one of his first half throws, up high. And now Childs is cramping up. He's got protection. He's able to set his feet, and the ball sails over the head of Childs.
Well, the big hit by Chris Hawkins from underneath. Childs in obvious pain, as several players have been in this 4th quarter.
Now the question, what about Chad Jones? It's 4th down.
The crowd that remains finally beginning a chant for their Tigers. Jones coming back in. Adams came in the play before him. There's the helmet-to-helmet contact. That was a 15-yard penalty. Here's the last one. Hawkins upending Childs. It's amazing it can be as physical as it is right now with only a minute 25 to play.
Well, as we said at the very beginning of this game, there's a lot on the line for both of these teams in terms of their postseason destinations and where they fall in the bowl pecking order in the SEC. Very important for both teams.
On 3rd down, they've come up huge. Now they have to come up even larger on 4th and 9.
Well, they don't need to score on this play.
They need to get to the 4.5.
Yeah, they can get a first down, and they still have 1 timeout left.
Timeout taken by Arkansas. 32nd timeout with a minute 25 to go. 140 to 4 ESPN from your mobile phone. Ryan Mallett has had a sensational season. The Razorbacks, considering they played the 4th toughest schedule in the country, have had a magnificent season, even though it's only 7 wins. But it's better than last year. And in Bobby Petrino's 2nd year, they've been a threat to just about everybody they've played. Now they're down to 1 play to try to win their 8th game. And as Todd said, they don't have to get it in the end zone, but they do have to get 9 yards. And number 9 on the other side, Jordan Jefferson, will cross his fingers and hope that his defense can come up with a big play.
They tried to go to DJ Williams on this drive, and he was not open for Ryan Mallett.
5 wideouts for Mallett. 4th and 9. Mallett throws to the end zone. Touchdown. And it's Joe Adams of all people. About 2 yards deeper, where he almost lost his head, he just made the catch of the year for Arkansas.
And the interesting thing, Joe Adams ran a route to get the first down. He had stopped at the first down marker, but when the quarterback scrambled, he adjusted and went into the end zone and caught a touchdown pass.
Tejada's extra point is good. A shocked crowd. But now, remember, LSU needs only a field goal. They've got a timeout left and 1:18 to work with.
And Jordan Jefferson is going to get a chance to redeem himself from last week in the very next ball game. Now watch. Here's Joe Adams. He's going to stop right here for the first down. And then when he sees the quarterback move, he adjusts and goes back into the end zone and catches a touchdown. Great job by Mallett buying extra time, and an even better job by Joe Adams adjusting to his quarterback on the move.
And he took another huge hit, but this time the helmet stays on, the hands stay around the ball, and it's touchdown Arkansas. And you see the reaction of number 15. And on the other side, Peterson with the LSU feelings.
Well, here we are. Okay, we talked about last week. Lessons learned. They made adjustments into their clock management strategies, both on the field and on the sidelines. They talked to their quarterback. They talked about their play calling. They worked as a staff. Well, here they are right now in a similar situation. Not the same, but similar. A field goal could tie it and put it into overtime.
Tejada to kick. How will he approach it? High and short again. Fielded at the 23 by Shepard, the linebacker. And he gets it up to the 33-yard line.
Last week, after LSU scored to cut it to 6, they got the onside kick recovery. There was 1:16 left, and they had one timeout. Well, now, and they were down by 2. Now there's 1:12. They've got one timeout, and they're down by 3.
Eerily similar. I said earlier they may never end up in that position again. Maybe they'll end up in that very same position in the next minute and 12 seconds as Gary Croton looks on and Les Miles does likewise. 30-27 Arkansas. Jordan Jefferson at the controls on first down. In trouble in the pocket, and down he goes. He was sacked on a second play of the drive last week. This time it's on the first play.
Oh, and they used their last timeout. I mean, the sack, you can't take a sack.
That's one of the things they were supposed to learn, or he was.
You throw the ball away. If it's not there, you run or you throw it away. This was last week. And this was a short throw. It's supposed to be out of his hands. He held it too long, took the sack. Now this was third down, and they lost 7 more yards. So in back-to-back plays, they took themselves out of field goal range and had to settle for the Hail Mary.
Then the missing 17 seconds from not taking the timeout. Then this was supposed to get to the end zone. It didn't get there because he was hit as he threw. And then no time for the field goal unit, no time for a quick snap, no time for a play, no time for a win.
And where it really went awry last week was the sack. That's what really set them back. And now the first play of this drive, another sack of Jordan Jefferson. And they have to burn that last time out. So now, for Jordan Jefferson, you obviously can't take another sack. You've got to advance the ball, and you've got to move with urgency. Get the ball to the sideline and get out of bounds if you can. Use the clock play the right way if you need to, but you can't take another sack.
2nd and 16. 1:05 left. Tigers from their own 31-yard line. Arkansas just a 3-man rush. Jefferson loads it, fires complete in the middle of the field. Not going to be a first down. Ruben Randall.
Got to hurry up. You got to hurry up and get lined up. Call your play at the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 5.
If you get the first down, the clock will stop until they reset.
On 3rd down, quick throw, complete. Tight end's got it. First down. Clock's going to stop momentarily. Well, if they ever get him down, there goes some more lost seconds. But
now you line up again. You get your play called right now at the line of scrimmage. So when the referee moves away from the ball, you are ready to snap the ball and run your play. This is a great situation for a quarterback to be in, especially to see if he learned his lessons from a week ago.
They didn't lose any time there. Now the clock started. 3 seconds goes off the clock as he swings it out of the backfield to Ridley. Ridley's trying to get to the sideline, and he got there. Right at the 40-yard line. 26 seconds left. Boy, and he really had to work it, Todd, to get there.
Questionable whether he did. You get what you can get, and you get out of bounds.
26 seconds. Jefferson with the completion, and Ridley with the run to the 40-yard line. They need to get in field goal range. And across the middle, diving attempt at the interception. Maybe just as well that wasn't completed. Wow, this is amazing. You see the waiting kicker, Josh Jasper, who never got the opportunity a week ago. Right now, it would be a 57-yard field goal. His career long is 52. They've got to get him some more room. Field goal ties it. Obviously a touchdown if they got a big play and a run would win it. 3rd and 3. On the ground, up the middle, Ridley's got good yardage and a first down near the 30-yard line.
Now the clock stops again. You can do one of two things. You can spike the football here and huddle up, or you can call a play and run your play. Whatever you do, you get ready to do it right now.
15, 14. Jefferson to Ridley again down the sideline and out of bounds at about the 22-yard line.
Right now, they're doing it the right way. Now, one thing they learned from last week also, if they need to run their field goal team on, if the clock is running, they need 12 seconds to do that. Well, there's only 9 now. So Les Miles is saying, let's kick the football.
Last week with 9 seconds, they threw a Hail Mary. They had 1 second left and couldn't do anything with it. This week with 9 seconds remaining, they've got a chance for Josh Jasper to tie the game from 41 yards away. 2 for 2, both from 47. And now a timeout taken by Arkansas. It's final stoppage. We're a Josh Jasper field goal away from overtime.
Timeout.
He's going to go over and warm up on the sideline. He's got a $1 bill that he wears underneath his shirt and his sweatband because they used to call him money every time he made a big kick. Give him about a C note, I think, if he hits it.
This is just amazing that they would come down to a similar situation from a week ago. Absolutely amazing. I
feel like I'm in Groundhog's Day or something.
I know, and I made the point. The beauty of athletics is when you have a bad game or a bad experience, the opportunity to go back out a week later or a day later and have a chance to redeem yourself. And that is exactly where they are right now. Coaches and players for this LSU team.
It'll be from the right hash mark. Jasper, 2 for 2, both from 47 yards earlier in the game. This one from 41 to tie the game. Snap was a little bit high. The kick's on the way, and it's good. Lesson learned. Tie game.
This was a great job by Derek Helton. You mentioned snap a little bit high. Watch Helton get this.
Beautiful kick. I love it. I love seeing the redemption. I really do. For Jordan Jefferson, he took the sack the first play,
and he came back and got his team in position to go to OT.
And look at the facial expression on Les Miles, as if to say, that was a pretty good choice there. Take the field goal. 2 years ago, 3 overtimes, Arkansas. Last year, 31-30, Arkansas. 4 seconds left, Arkansas 30, LSU 30.
You know who else did a great job in that drive? Stephen Ridley. 2 plays, he caught it on the sideline, gained valuable yardage, and got the ball out of bounds both times. Outstanding work by him.
So as Jasper tees it up, we anticipate a squib that will end regulation. We'll be headed to overtime. What you don't want to do is put it in the hands of Dennis Johnson with a deep kick. There's the squib. Taken by Cleveland. And that will do it for regulation, as we've got a big pileup to end the 4th quarter. And the referee steps in between those 2 parties that were ready to push and shove a little bit at the end. So now the discussion turns to overtime. And that's what we'll be back for, as the 41-yard field goal. Les Miles watches it go through. LSU 30, Arkansas 30. Extra football coming up. Just about set to start the overtime session. The SEC on ESPN. A thrilling game in Baton Rouge. LSU on a field goal in the final seconds ties it up at 30-30. And the captains will come out for the 2nd time tonight for the coin toss. What you want to do is win the toss and play defense. At least that's the choice of most people. That way you know what you need if the other team scores.
More than 1 overtime, we'll come back out here, but we're only going to have 1 toss. This will be our 1 toss. You're the visitor, you're going to call it. That's heads, that's tails. If I drop it, flip it again, what's your call? Tails. Right?
Let Michael Smith call the toss. The starting tailback who's injured with the hamstring injury.
See LSU choosing their end of the field.
Arkansas won the toss and will defend this goal. LSU will put the ball in play on the 25.
So LSU, as we take a look at the rules of overtime, well, the choice was defense, taken on the winning coin toss by Arkansas. You start a possession at the 25-yard line per overtime till the winner is decided. No game clock. 2-point conversion starts with the 3rd overtime that these 2 teams actually went to a couple of years ago when Arkansas won 50-48. You and I have spent the last 2 minutes during the timeout looking at each other going, you have got to be kidding me.
I know.
All week long we talked about what happened last week and said maybe it could never happen again. Yeah. It happened this time, and LSU did it differently, and now we got a tie ball game.
And that's the beauty of it. You know, you go through a painful experience, a painful loss. You get ripped in the media, you know, with your Les Miles or Gary Croton or Jordan Jefferson. And you pull together and you try to learn from it and grow from it and say, if I'm ever in this situation again,
here's what I'll
do better.
Yeah.
And they did. They all did better. And now they got to refocus into overtime and figure out a way to score here with the first possession for LSU.
One thing that LSU has going for them right now is that they were the team that went down and kicked the field goal. If there's a rhythm right now, it's probably their offense. Will it stay that way? We're about to find out. At the 25, Jefferson gives it off to Ridley, who was the hero, really, on those 2 swing passes to get needed yardage for the field goal, and he's got 5 to the 25 to the 20.
And I think if you're Gary Croton and you're calling plays, you want to be smart, but you got to think Arkansas, when they get it, they're going to attack the end zone. As good as they've been in the red zone and scoring touchdowns all season, a field goal here on the first possession may not be good enough to win.
2nd down and 5. Jefferson to Ridley again. And he pulls his way for only about a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
Nice play by Adrian Davis. He kind of got on the back of Ridley and rode him down for a very short gain, bringing up 3rd down.
Now it's a situation where you would think 3rd and 4 would dictate that you might have to put the ball in the air.
And you also have the option of Jordan Jefferson running it if it's not open, because he has shown
the ability to do that here, particularly in the second half.
They line up Dixon, the tight end, as the fullback on a 3rd and 4. Here is Jefferson to throw. Fires and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Brandon LaFell. And LaFell still down. We've seen several players that have cramped up in the late stages of the 4th quarter.
He was open. The ball was low, and LaFell is going to go down awkwardly trying to get to the football. Watch him sit right in the zone, right in the hole, and the ball was low, and as his knee was bent underneath him, he was hit by Jerry Franklin.
You're going to see the left knee tucked underneath, and then Franklin comes over the top. And that's why we've got Brandon LaFell, the leading receiver for LSU, down. There you see the view from behind. Ooh.
And that's another one that Jordan Jefferson wishes he could get back, because he had his man open, and it would have given them a first down.
LaFell, one of the 24 seniors, playing his final game here in this stadium, and you just hope that it's just a twisted knee. Obviously, the body not made to contort in the direction that his knee and his back went after that hit on the incompletion. The field goal unit's out there, by the way, for LSU. Right now the concern is with the senior out of Houston, Texas. And he's up. Might be the night for him. Sure looks like it. He's in pain. It's going to be a long walk to the LSU sideline. Meanwhile, the guy that basically sent the game into overtime with a 41-yard kick, who's perfect tonight, Josh Jasper, the special teams captain, a junior out of Memphis. He's got to have this one. This is the shortest one so far that he's been asked to kick. You see the look on the quarterback's face, who, as Todd said, knew he had a man open.
Yeah, he just tried to gun that one in there a little bit harder than he needed to, and it really drove into the dirt on him.
Jasper 15 out of 18 on the year. 3 for 3 tonight, make it 4 for 4 as he's got it from 36. Well, the thing about going on defense first is you know what your offense needs. And Ryan Mallett and the offense for Arkansas knows they need a touchdown to win. Aaron?
Brad, it'll be interesting to see how the Arkansas offense responds. You know, during LSU's final drive of regulation, Arkansas's offense not so much celebrating, but giving a lot of hugs. Ryan Mallett even looked over at me and said, "I told you so." I don't know what he told me because I haven't talked to him all week. But, you know, as soon as LSU tied it up to send it into overtime, a lot of different reactions. It wasn't the same as everybody hugging each other and saying, "I told you so." So it'll be interesting to see how they respond.
Well, I'll tell you one thing LSU better be ready for, and that is right now, the first play, a shot to the end zone by Ryan Mallett. Would not surprise me if Bobby Petrino tried to win it with one play right here.
First down in overtime, the first snap for Arkansas. They trail by 3. 3 to send it to a second OT. A touchdown wins it. They lose 2 or 3. Big play by Drake Nevis on Ronnie Wingo.
Boy, I'll tell you what, they almost fumbled that exchange. Ryan Mallett did not get that ball cleanly. He almost fumbled it on his way back to the running back. Watch this ball bobble a little bit, and Drake Nevis was right in the backfield. That could have been a fumble in the backfield very easily.
Second down and 12. They need to get to the 15-yard line for a first down. End zone wins the game. Field goal ties it.
Blitz.
Mallett fires, and it's batted down by LeVar Edwards. And it's 3rd and long.
This was a zone blitz. They brought outside pressure and dropped the defensive end off, and Ryan Mallett didn't see it. Watch the defensive end show rush and then drop out, and he's the guy who gets his hands on the football. Number 89 almost intercepted it.
Remember, he went out all cramped up earlier. He's back out there. The defensive ends for LSU have had a whale of a game. 3rd and 12. Still, you don't need all of that. but you'd like to get your field goal kicker closer. Blitz again. Mallett hit as he throws. Got it complete. And inside the 20 goes London Crawford. That's his first catch of the night, but it's a big one.
Well, this time they went with everything. They brought everybody at Ryan Mallett. They got him on the ground, but not before Mallett was able to get a completion to set up a field goal attempt. Single
Nevis
coverage.
again.
Yep, single coverage. Nevis gets him on the ground, and now it's up to Tejada.
Both kickers have been perfect tonight. Jasper hit from 36. Can Tejada answer from the same distance? Kick on the way, and it is no good. He missed it. A senior night party can begin. Tejada missed it by about a yard to the right from 36 yards away, and LSU survives in overtime. Here's another look. Doesn't get any closer than that. He tried to steer it in, thought he had it, but no. Ryan Mallett can only look on. Another tough loss for LSU. Redemption from a week ago. They win it in overtime, 33-30 as we go down to Aaron.
And Les Miles just walked over to me and said, nothing to it. Yeah, right. Similar situation to last week's Ole Miss game. As the situation starts to develop, seconds tick down. What are you thinking?
Well, it's this team's got fight in them. They fought all. The opportunity to get to overtime, I knew we'd have a chance to win it. Our guys played great. Big play that Drake Nevis made in the overtime when they handed the ball off certainly put them behind, and down. So,
why was the final moments of this fourth quarter different from last week?
The same team, absolutely the same team. No difference there.
What did they learn that they applied tonight, though?
Our football team knows how to win. They've always known how to. I don't believe that they learned it tonight. I think they've had it with them for some time.
All right, Coach, thank you. Enjoy it. Brad.
The Golden Boot, 175 pounds, a lot of gold. And with those new gold helmets tonight, LSU hangs on at home on senior night to win in overtime over Arkansas. And they win their 9th game of the year. 33-30 is the final in overtime. That's going to do it for Baton Rouge. For Todd Blackley, Jaron Andrews, and our entire crew. Brad Nessler saying so long. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Sports Center's next, or if you're hungry for more college football, switch over to ABC or ESPN2. A much different ending for the Tigers of LSU on this Saturday night. They win it 33-30 in overtime.